And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome to another edition of high school football in the Klamath Basin. Tonight, it is the storied rivalry between the Mazama Vikings and the Klamath Union Pelicans, the Canal Bowl, here at Mazama High School. My name is Josh Eldridge, joined by Kevin Petrick. Later on, you'll hear from Walter Hartley and Caitlin Rodriguez running the live stream camera this evening. Kevin, we get a rivalry matchup in week one. The Pelicans and the Vikings. Doesn't get much better than this.
No, people are pumped up. We have a rocking atmosphere here to start the season for both teams. If you walk around and ask people what they expect, you get a lot of different answers.
And for the first time in a while.
Yeah, a lot of different predictions. We might see a closer game this year. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see how things shake out.
It is Canal Bowl 47 tonight. Klamath Union hasn't beat the Vikings since 2013. They're looking to change fortunes tonight on the road and upset a Vikings home crowd in week one of the high school football season. We're going to talk a little bit more about the upcoming high school football season here in the Klamath Basin. A few other teams from our area in action tonight. A few other teams from the Big Sky Conference and Klamath Union Special District in the 3A classification. We'll give you an idea of where all their league opponents are as well. We'll, of course, give you an idea of who's in the starting lineup ahead of coin toss. Then kickoff is coming up just about 12 minutes away from Canal Bowl number 47 tonight here at Mazama High School. It is our GINO'S Cafe game of the week on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
And we welcome you back to Mazama High School, the side of the GINO'S Cafe game of the week tonight. Sort of a double feature for the GINO'S Cafe game of the week this week. Last night we were in Tule Lake for the Fair Bowl. Tonight at Mazama for the Canal Bowl. Looking at a more tightly contested game this evening. Last night, Tule Lake defeating Butte Valley 75-19. I don't think we're going to be seeing that scoreline tonight again, Kevin.
Yeah, it'll probably be a little different here.
Yeah.
We've got 11 on 11 tonight, so probably contain the scoring just a little bit more.
Should be a pretty good game. Last year, these two teams met. It was a 55-22 win in favor of the Mazama Vikings. It was a game in which Klamath Union hung around for quite a long time in that game through about the first half, which is more than you could say for past Klamath Union squads against Mazama in the past about dozen years. We'll talk a little bit more about the game last year, but first, let's take a look around the state of Oregon. We'll start locally with other teams in the Klamath Basin that are in action tonight. And of course, as we look towards the towards the 2A classification, Lost River on the road tonight, playing a neutral site game against Colton. They're playing at Lowell High School tonight. Bonanza is at home in Bowtown. They are taking on Glide for the season opener. You've also got Chiloquin. They are hosting Santiam this evening, and a good opportunity for the Panthers to play a new 2A school in Santiam, try to pick up a win for their program. And then tomorrow, a big game for Cross Point Christian, as they are the number 3 ranked team coming into the preseason, taking on number 1 Adrian. Should be a really good contest tomorrow afternoon. Looking around some teams that these squads will meet later on in the season in the Big Sky Conference, which Mazama calls home. A couple of other teams in action this evening, as we see Ashland hosting Del Norte from down in California. Also Marshfield hosting Siuslaw tonight in the Big Sky Conference. Some other teams playing in Klamath Union's 3A. They are in Special District 5. A couple of games for those guys as well tonight. You're looking at Phoenix on the road taking on Brookings Harbor tonight. Cascade Christian is hosting Douglas this evening. And then tomorrow, North Valley is playing Coquille, a 2A school, but an opportunity for the North Valley Knights, who seemingly will be climbing back up a classification next year to try to start their season out on the right foot. Talk a little bit about the classification switches that could be coming down the pipeline, seemingly with Klamath Union Mazama staying put in the Skyline Conference. Kevin, you've had a chance to look at the proposal for what the OSA might be doing next year.
Yeah, not too many changes around here,
Yeah.
really. Of course, the private school issue will be up there, and I think they meet 3 more times before they decide on what they're going to do. So not too many changes here.
No, there's a possibility of Eagle Point joining the league, maybe Crater joining the league, maybe North Valley rejoining the league as well. A lot of different options for what could be out there as far as the OSA. Keep updated on osaa.org for the reclassifications and redistricting committee and all of those good things. What we do know is that tonight is a non-league contest. That's why it's being played in week 1 as opposed to the final week of the season, which it was traditionally played in. Talking with Mazama head coach Orland Culp earlier in the week, he said to him it doesn't matter if this is week 1 or week 9. He's just excited to finally get out and play somebody. And he says to him, the fact that it's Klamath Union doesn't really matter all that much to him. But to the guys who are actually playing the game, I think this one matters a whole heck of a lot.
Oh, yeah. These games matter when you play cross-town like this. And it's nice that these 2 teams were able to keep this series going. Of course, Henley won't see KU this year, but it's nice that Mazama and KU keep it going.
Yeah, certainly. So we're going to step aside one more time here on the pregame show. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the history between the Vikings and the Pelicans, talk a bit about what happened last year when these 2 teams met and what we expect to see tonight. Then coin toss and kickoff is coming up just a few minutes away in the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week. It is the Canal Bowl at Mazama High School on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games, all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
We welcome you back to the 2025 Canal Bowl. It is between the Klamath Union Pelicans and the Mazama Vikings. We've got our sets of captains meeting out there at midfield ahead of kickoff this evening. Mazama in their home uniforms tonight, white helmets, blue jerseys with white numbers across their back, and white pants this evening. The Pelicans are in red from head to toe, with Pelicans written across their chest in white and white numbers across their chest and their back as well. The Pelicans coached tonight by Josh Overstreet in his second season. The Mazama Vikings coached by Orland Culp in his second season as well. Kevin, last time these two teams met last season, a 55-24 win for Mazama. It was a close game late in the second quarter. Klamath Union put a couple touchdowns on the board. We're only trailing by a single score, but in the third quarter, Mazama outscored them 21-6 and sealed the deal. We were talking about it a little bit before the game, and Coach Josh Overstreet agreed. Klamath Union going to put together a full 4 quarters tonight if they want to stand a chance. Can't just play a half against these Vikings.
Right. You have to eventually teach your kids in your program how to win a game, and it takes 4 quarters, and it's just a process. They played a good half last year. Now try to put together 4 quarters and keep it close till the end, and then take your chances and see what happens.
Looks like, I believe Mazama is going to receive to start the ball game tonight. Want to introduce you to our officials. Our referee tonight wearing the white cap is Darren Rutledge. Our umpire and center judge is Ron Wagner. Zach Weeding, the linesman, the line judge Colton Wright, and the back judge is Eric Thornton. Tonight, all brought to you by the Klamath Falls Football Officials Association. I know they're constantly looking for new officials to come on out and join the cause. So if you want to give back to your community, stay involved in a sport you love, visit osaa.org/officials to get your journey started. Looking at the weather for this evening's Canal Bowl, 81 degrees right now and cooling. We're going to drop about 5 degrees in the next hour. It should be about 74 by halftime tonight. The sun is setting over the west side, which would be to the left goal. And that's for those of you watching our free video stream tonight on mybasin.com. So here we go, back set to receive for the Mazama Vikings is number 2, Logan Barajas, the junior, stationed on the left side. And on the near side, it's Brody Mahone as the junior stationed right about the 7-yard line. To kick for Klamath Union is P.J. Safford. And it looks like we are just about ready to go. The kick is a line drive, skips around the 30, now back to the 20. It's fielded along the far side by Barajas. And looks like it's marked right around the 15. Not a bad kick at all by Safford to get this game started.
That was an effective kick. That ball was just kind of wiggling across the ground there all the way down the field. Nobody could really pick it up, and they had to fall on the football. And anytime you don't get a return on a kickoff, I consider that as a success because you just never know when they'll break one. So, well done. Good start here for KU.
Quarterback Reese Johnson leading, quarterback Kellen Lee leading his Vikings out onto the field. Brody Mahone, the halfback, wide receivers, Ryson McDonald, Logan Barajas, and Max Rogers will get you the line after this first play from scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 15. It's going to be a handoff coming to the near side. Mahone takes it, tries to find some room up the middle, trudges forward back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 on that play, and it'll be 2nd down for the Vikings.
Klamath Union did nice work on the inside there. He couldn't find a seam to move the ball upfield. They kind of stretched that play out. A tackle for a loss.
Cameron Clark, the tight end tonight for Mazama at either guard position. Omar Reyes, and Abraham Sanchez at center is Brighton Hunt. At the tackles is Carter Story and Anthony Rodrigo. Here's a handoff going to the far side. Barajas looking to throw it downfield himself. The pass is broken up at about the 40. A little bit of a trick play here for the second one from scrimmage tonight for Mazama. The intended target downfield, I think, was Logan Barajas, but good coverage from Klamath Union, incomplete, 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was a halfback pass right there, option pass, and that was excellent coverage by Nolan Baker. He wasn't fooled at all.
Yeah.
A lot of times, those DBs, they'll come up when they see the run. He was right with the receiver and almost made the interception.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 for the Vikings. Lined up to the near side, receiver McDonald. In the slot is Max Rogers next to him. In the backfield with Lee, it looks like it's Brody Mahone. Lee calls for the snap, rolls out to the near side, feeling pressure in his face. He is going to fire an incomplete pass, just barely getting rid of it before being knocked over. And it'll be 4th and 11.
Good pressure from Gavin Coe for the Pelicans. And that was a good defensive series for KU. Really good at discipline and staying in their zones. And we're going to see a punt, 3 and out here for Mazama to start.
11-11 left to go in the first quarter, and yeah, you said Mazama being forced to punt. Looks like it is McDonald with the punting duties. He's right at the goal line. Standing out at about the 50 is, I believe, Saluskin for Klamath Union. Here's the kick. Goes out to about the 42. Kicks down past the 50. Now rolling out to about the 45-yard line. That's where Mazama will down it, and Klamath Union will take over for their first possession.
That's just what you want if you're a Pelican fan. Good defensive stand to start the game, and then really good field position as they're near midfield.
So now it's Reese Johnson out there, the quarterback for Klamath Union. Left tackle Weezer, Ibarra at the left guard, Safford the center, Thompson at right guard, Caldera at right tackle. And in the backfield, Trayvon Ruano, the junior, the back for Klamath Union. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Johnson now left alone in the backfield as he motions out a bunch set to the near side. Calls for the snap, looks for a quick screen. The pass is complete to Kaufman. Gets up to the 50, still moving up to the 45, gets the first down. down to the 40, and a 15-yard completion and a first down for the Pelicans.
Well executed. Just one step drop. Get that ball to the sideline. Kaufman, a nice strong run. Broke a couple of tackles, picked up the first down.
It's about 7 yards after the catch, too, after contact. Kaufman doing a nice job of keeping those feet moving. 1st and 10, Klamath Union now into Mazama territory at the 40. And 10:50 left to go in the first quarter. Still waiting for our first points. Johnson back there with Ruana to his left. 2 wide receivers to either side. And we've got a whistle. Let's see. Officials coming in to discuss it right about midfield. But I didn't see a flag. Did you see a flag come out at all,
No,
Kevin?
I did not. It was before the ball was snapped, so it was dead ball foul of some sort here.
Well, there's still kind of now looking at the Klamath Union sideline, trying to find out exactly what is going on.
May have been an equipment issue.
Okay.
Maybe a chin
Could be
strap
with
or
the
a
center.
mouthpiece. Yeah.
It looks like Safford's coming off the field, at least momentarily.
Might be something like that.
I think you're going to have to get someone else in for at least a play, right? That's typically the rule?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to remind you that tonight's GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week, of course, brought to you by GINO'S Cafe on East Main Street, serving up their famous breakfast burritos every morning at 6:30. You can order online at iloveginos.com or on DoorDash. Here we go. 1st and 10, Klamath Union from the 40 into Mazama territory. Johnson calls for the snap. It's a handoff to Ruano. The ball pops free. There's a pile at the 45-yard line. Let's see. Still waiting for the official signal. Looks like Klamath Union is keeping possession, bailed out there, but now they're facing 2nd and 15.
Yeah, they were fortunate to fall on the football. It just wasn't a clean handoff. Ruano never really had the football. It was kind of bouncing around there free for a second. But the Pelicans will maintain possession. Lost a few on the play, though. They'll bring up 2nd and long.
Looks like it'll officially be 2nd and 14 for Klamath Union. 10:39 and continue to count down here in the first quarter. Still scoreless between the Pelicans and the Vikings. Here they get on the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers set out to either side for Klamath Union. On the near side, Nolan Baker. It's Johnson with his running back to his left, sends Kaufman in motion, going from right to left. Johnson looks to find Kaufman in the backfield, but the pass is incomplete. There is a flag in front of the Pelicans sideline, back around the 50. And we'll see where this one is going, but an attempted little screen pass there for KU.
Yeah, well-designed play. The receiver came from the near side to the far side. He had a little room out there.
So it looks like false start going against the Pelicans. This one coming back a few more. Looks like they'll be facing 2nd down and 19 to go.
As we've seen so many times, it's the penalties and the tackles for loss. They're just drive killers. And when you're in that play in that first game, it's kind of hard to keep things straight for a while. So the team that can come out and make the fewest mistakes is really going to help their cause.
And Klamath Union does have some confidence to air it out, and they rightfully should. Their quarterback, Reese Johnson, does a great job under center. He completed about 58% of his passes last year for nearly 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns, throwing about 180 yards per game for Klamath Union as a sophomore last season. Now he's alone in the backfield, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking to the near side, finds Baker, who's immediately brought down at the 40. A completion worth about 9 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 10.
That was a good comeback route. Went about 15 yards downfield, then just came straight back toward his quarterback. And they picked up some of that yardage. They'll still have a big 3rd down here.
First time the Pelicans are facing 3rd down tonight. They'll snap it from the 41-yard line, now back into Mazama territory. The yard to gain is the 30. Taking their time in the huddle.
I think you're right, Josh. I think KU is comfortable passing the football. That's one thing about the first game. You don't really have any tape. You don't have any video to scheme, so you have to kind of go on tradition and what these teams did last year.
So here we go again. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Kaufman again in motion from right to left behind Johnson. Takes the snap, feels pressure right away. They get through the line of scrimmage, no problem. Bring him down for a huge sack. It'll bring up 4th down.
Anthony Idrogo, a huge sack on 3rd and long. He came through there untouched and made the tackle.
So 4th and 21 looming. It'll be a punting situation. P.J. Safford back to punt for Klamath Union. And back to receive for the Vikings. That looks to be number 4. That's Brody Mahone, the junior, standing 6 feet tall. He's stationed right about the 23-yard line. And Safford will punt from near the 40. Takes the snap. It's a high one. Collects it, though. The punt is a high one. Kicks around about the 25. Klamath Union will let it roll out to the 20. Gives a nice friendly kick back to about the 22 or the 23. That's where it's downed. And about a 25-yard punt that time for P.J. Safford. Flips field position. Mazama takes over 1st and 10 from the 22.
Mazama having to start again with a long field in front of them. This will be their 2nd series. Try to improve on that first series where they were 3 and out.
Mazama takes over. There is 8.5 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless tonight at the Canal Bowl. Vikings second chance with the football. Like you said, Kevin, still less than favorable field position. They were forced to punt 3 and out last time. Pelicans defense had good coverage downfield, allowing them to get that 3 and out. We'll see where the Vikings go now. Here's Lee taking the snap. It looks like it's going to be a handoff to Mahone, trying to go along the right side. Stays on his feet after contact and moves forward another couple of yards. Not a bad carry. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 to go.
That was a good effort running the football. Didn't look like there was much there, and he ended up picking up about 5.
One thing that's typical about a Mazama offensive line, though, is they will push you around. That's been a staple of this program for the better part of 15 years.
Right.
2nd and 5 coming up for Mazama. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 out to the far side. Lee calls for the snap. It's a sweep handoff to Mahone going along the right side. Has some room along that sideline, and I think he might have just got the first down. Looked like he gained 6 yards down at about the 33. Waiting for the official signal. There it is. Looks like it'll be a first down, Vikings.
Another good, strong run. And this is what we're used to seeing from Coach Culp. He will spread the field, but that doesn't necessarily mean pass. He'll spread the field, then he'll run the football like that, or he will throw.
He's coached at various schools, 20 years down in Wairika. He was an assistant for Vic Lease in his final season before taking over the head coaching role last season. Certainly an experienced coach. Here's 1st and 10. It's a high snap. It's a handoff. No, it's a keeper for the quarterback. Lee finds a huge hole up the middle, gets the first down and then some. Finally dragged down at the 49. Not quite to the 50, but call it a gain of about 15 yards and another Viking first down. He had all sorts of room up the middle.
That was some good work with the football that time. Put that football right in his running back's gut and then pulled it out. Nobody was really sure who had the ball, and he had a lot of room. A lot of room.
Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 49. Vikings still in their own territory with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lined up as the receiver to the near side is McDonald. In the slot to his right is Max Rogers. Lee with Mahone to his left. Sets everyone down for this 1st and 10 play. Snap and a hold for Lee. Rolls out to the near side. Finds a screen pass. It's complete into number 14, Jackson Warner for Mazama. Good completion worth about 4 yards and a late flag on the near sideline.
Late flag on the play.
Yeah, we had a little extracurricular activity there. A little bit of the rivalry showing on that play.
It's going to happen. It's just up to the officials now to try to control it. And so far, bringing out the laundry, probably warranted.
Yeah, there's definitely some action going on there after the play. So I'm not sure who started it, so we'll see which way the penalty is assessed.
Again, Darren Rutledge, our white cap tonight. Let's see. So this one's going against Mazama.
Yeah, both teams were involved, but I wasn't sure who started it. But the official was right on top of it.
Still first down.
No personal foul for the Vikings, and it'll be 1st and 20. Now for Mazama, they take it from their own 38-yard line. The yard to gain is the 41 on the other side of midfield. And officials wave in to start the clock. There's just about 6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 2 men in the backfield with Lee. It looks like he's got Jackson and Mahone each back there with him. Two receivers rather, set out to the right side. Here's the snap. It's a play action. A keeper actually for Mahone. A handoff up the middle and a gain of 3. And the Vikings will now face second down and long.
Good defense there from the Pelicans. They'll take that. They'll take a 3-yard gain when you have 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20.
Lee sells that play action real well, continues his drop back after the fake handoff and continues to look over. He sold that real well, allowing Mahone to get up the middle there.
Yeah, that's one part of football that's kind of underrated a little bit. How you handle the football and hide the ball is important.
All right, here we go. 2nd and long for the Vikings, snapping it from the 41. This time a play action pass. Lee finds Jackson about the 40, gets upfield to the 50, misses a tackle, now past the 40, to the 30, along the sideline to the 20, to the 10, pushed out of bounds before getting to the 5, and a big completion, 1st and goal Vikings.
Yeah, some missed tackles there on the far side, and you can't afford to do that with this Mazama running offense. And Nolan Baker saved a touchdown. He was able to make a play right at the last second, and a huge gainer for the Vikings.
So not quite 1st and goal. Stepped out earlier than I had thought. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. The Vikings in the red zone. Mahone lined up behind Lee. 2 receivers to the near side, none to the far side, but a tight end lined up behind the tackle, and looks like we have got a Mazama timeout with 5:33 to go in the first quarter. That is one way to flip field position on that last throw and catch. What a run after the catch as well by Jackson Warner, the sophomore, making that big play.
Yeah, in games like this where both teams have good skill players.
Yeah.
You're not exactly sure, what we're looking at because it's the first game. I'm really looking at the line play.
Yeah.
And I think that the winner in the line of scrimmage, I think, will have the best chance tonight. And on this series, Mazama's doing very well up front. They're giving a lot of time for those backs and those handoffs and little passes to work. So keep an eye on that. Mazama's line play very good this series.
I want to welcome in some of our new sponsors this year on MyBasin.com. Of course, you see their logo on the scoreboard, the Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance Scoreboard. Elevate uses a modern and research-backed approach to physical therapy to ensure you see both a reduction in pain and enhanced mobility, getting you back to peak levels of optimal health and wellness. Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance has been treating athletes of all ages since 2020. Elevate is also the trainers you'll see down here on the sideline with Klamath County School District. They come out and they're the trainers for all of the local football and basketball games as well. See them behind the cheerleaders there. We're doing a fine job getting the pretty sizable Mazama student section in action tonight as well.
Yeah, the band showed up.
Yeah.
That's always good to see early in the season. The band's here.
All right, Mazama back out onto the field, again facing 1st and 10 from the Klamath Union 17-yard line. 5:33 to go in the first quarter, still scoreless. Lee calling for the snap. It's a play action. Lee rolling out to the near side, looks to the corner, and the catch made at about the 10. That looks like, Max Rogers in on the reception there. Good for about 7 yards on the completion, 2nd and short. Coming up now for the Vikings.
Lee very good at checking down his receivers. The last couple pass completions he's made, he's looked downfield, they've been covered, and he's checked down to his running backs, and that was the case there. He was wide open, made the nice, safe, easy pass, and picked up about 7 yards.
Play call coming in from Coach Culp. Down on the sideline, Lee and Mahone come back out. They've got bunched receivers on the line of scrimmage to the near side, and 2 set out wide to the right. There goes Warner in motion. He takes the sweep handoff. He's brought down at about the 4-yard line. Good open field tackle from Klamath Union to stop Jackson Warner short of the goal line.
Yeah, Saluskin was able to trip him up over there, not allowing him to get into the end zone.
Should be a Mazama first down as well. Looks like they'll be facing 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Mazama's picked up 4 first downs on this drive alone. This will be play number 9. 5:15 and continue to count down here in the first quarter. Still scoreless, but Mazama 1st and goal from the 4. Jackson Warner stationed to the left of the quarterback. Mahone behind the quarterback. Two receivers set out wide, one to either side. Here is a handoff to Mahone up the middle. He's tripped up just before reaching the goal line. A gain of 2. It'll be second and goal.
Just short of the goal line. And that Mazama offensive line
Second and goal.
doing what they need to do on this drive. Getting a good push off the snap.
It's like Johnny Ladner, the sophomore, has come in off the bench looking to play a little tight end. We get another timeout here.
I think we have a player who may be hurt down there.
I'm not too sure. Let's see if we can.
They're trying to help him off the field.
Gotcha. Tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com, also brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H Barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back in time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service were everything. You can check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. So it'll be second and goal again from about the 2-yard line for the Vikings. Still looking for our first points of the night, 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Lee calls for the snap. It's another handoff to Mahone. He is going to get real close, but I think he was stopped short on a really good tackle.
I thought he was in.
I thought he might have been too, but
they didn't. I mean, that ball is as close to the goal line as you can get.
3rd and 1 looming from the goal line. This will be play number 11 of this drive for Mazama. Klamath Union looking to make a goal line stand against their rival from across town. Here's the handoff. Mahone takes it again, tries to get up the middle. Did he get in there? They stopped him short. In fact, he might have lost a yard. And that brings up 4th and goal, a big-time stop for the Pelicans.
They didn't put the quarterback under center there. They snapped it back into a shotgun. And so KU was able to get some penetration back there and stop the play early. And you're looking at 4th down.
Mazama going to go for it here. No brainer. You either score or you pin Klamath Union with terrible starting field position. But looks like we have got a timeout called by the Pelicans. We're going to take this timeout here on the broadcast, and we'll resume when we come back with 3:26 to go in the first quarter of the Canal Bowl in the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and on mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Fourth and goal from the 3 for the Mazama Vikings with about 3.5 to go in the first quarter of this year's Canal Bowl. Big 3rd down stop for the Pelicans, but now they got to get up the field on 4th.
We got a little drama here.
Yeah, we do.
We got some nice drama. 4th and goal. Big play coming up.
So we've got for Mazama lined up there, maybe as an extra blocker, Jaden Justice, running back, linebacker. He's out there with Jackson Warner. This is going to be a keeper for the quarterback. Lee slides by one defender, dives for the goal line, and gets the touchdown. The Mazama Vikings now lead 6-0 as they punch it in with 3:20 to go in the first quarter.
Really good drive from the Vikings there. I was impressed by their balance. They threw in the ball in situations. They ran the ball well. They had lots of different formations we saw. We saw a little bit of everything. And the more balance you can get, the tougher it is for the defense to play. Good drive for the Vikings to get on the scoreboard first.
So now it looks like they're going to go for a 2-point conversion. They've got one receiver set out to the right. That's Rogers. 2 to the near side. And they've got Jaden Justice lined up as the back left of the quarterback. There goes Jackson Warner in motion again. This looks to be a handoff to Justice. He's hit right away, brought down. The two-point conversion is no good, but Mazama leads 6-0 with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Klamath Union a chance when we come back at the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO, and live free video tonight on mybasin.com.
Time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Mazama Vikings on the board first in the Canal Bowl. They lead 6-0 with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. That last drive for the Vikings lasting 12 plays and about 5 minutes of game clock. They punched it in on a 4-yard rushing touchdown from their quarterback, Kellen Lee, and they now lead 6-0.
I want to mention before the break there, we talk about conversions and how important they are. Those points start to add up. Terrific play from Joseph Ibarra for KU. Make that stop there and avoid the 2 points. So conversions are important, and that was a good stop there for the Pels.
Back to receive for Klamath Union. Let's see, I believe on the far side I might see Griffin Johnson perhaps. I know I see Ruano stationed out there at about the 25. The kick is more of a squib kick, rolls out to about the 25, but we've got a whistle. I think Vikings may have crossed early. Gonna retry this one.
I think you're right. Back it up 5 yards and try it again. Let's see what kind of field position the Pelicans get here for their next possession.
Tilden Kaufman also back to receive for Klamath Union. Now with everybody moving up, he's going to be put at about the 30. And maybe a little bit further back. Mazama is going to have to kick it off from the 30 after that 10-yard penalty.
Still a little bit of confusion out there. They're moving the ball up a little bit now. They went back too
35.
far.
Yeah, okay.
Bring it back up 5 yards.
Ruelas to kick things off for Mazama. Be from the 35. He's kicking from the near hash. And it looks like we are just about ready to go as Klamath Union looks to get the ball back. The kick is up, and it goes out to about the 25, where it's fielded there by Tilden Kaufman. Brings it up to the 35 and brought down at the 40. Good return gives Klamath Union starting field position at about the 41-yard line.
Jackson Warner making the tackle there for Mazama.
KU takes over, 1st and 10 on the 41.
Takes it over with 3:15 to go in the first quarter. Klamath Union trailing 6-0 against the Vikings, but a chance here. Klamath Union had to punt it there last time out. Picked up a first down on a passing play on the first play of that drive, and then were stuffed. Went up backwards on a couple penalties and a big sack. Looking for some forward progress here again. Driving from left to right. That would be towards the east goal here at Mazama. Bunched receivers on either side. Johnson with a man in the backfield. They send Ruano out into the slot, and they call Kaufman in close. Now Kaufman goes out to the left side. Johnson's going to find Kaufman in the backfield. Tries to find some room to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's stuffed there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And they had numbers on that side. They were overloaded on the far side of the field. But Kellen Lee, good defensive play, came up from that safety spot and made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Good effort.
Looks like he might be cramping up.
Klamath Union likes to get the ball out to Tilden Kaufman. Last season, he was 2nd on the team in receiving yards, 355 receiving yards, averaged about 10 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns last season. He was just a single yard shy of leading the team in receiving yards a season ago, but as far as returning players, Tilden Kaufman is going to be their guy moving forward, and Reese Johnson, a guy you feel confident with throwing the football. I think something we talked about before the game tonight, Kevin, and you watched these teams play in the Jamboree, was that Klamath Union has a lot of guys coming back at some of the more I guess what you would stereotypically classify important positions on the field, right? Your quarterback, your receiving core, your running back.
Right.
These are the positions that move the football. Klamath Union has a lot of these guys returning, whereas Mazama's having to fill some spots from some all-league and all-state guys a season ago, but so far seems like they've done a good job with it.
Yeah, they have. Mazama they look pretty good on that last drive. Like, they've picked things up quickly. You're right. KU has a lot of good skill players.
Yeah.
And I think the key is going to be that line, giving him time. Your quarterback needs time to make those throws. And if they can do that, I think they'll move the football.
Had a brief pause in the action to get an injured player off the field. It looks like he's made it back to the sideline. So now Klamath Union facing 2nd and 11 officially from their own 40-yard line. Again, bunched receivers on either side for Johnson. Calls for the snap. It's a fumble snap. Unable to field it cleanly. He's bowled over in the backfield, and a big sack on 2nd down. Klamath Union well behind the sticks on 3rd. It'll be 3rd and about 16 coming up for Klamath Union.
Yeah, tough break. That was an errant snap there, and Johnson had to go down to a knee to pick up the football, so he was down as soon as he picked it up. And that's been KU's trouble here these last couple drives. They're going the wrong direction. A few mistakes, a few penalties, and it makes things very difficult.
Klamath Union yet to convert on 3rd down yet tonight. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. They trail Mazama 6-0. Gonna have to draw up something fancy here, facing 3rd and 16. They'll take it from their own 35-yard line. Have to try to cross midfield here. Again, it's Jefferson in the backfield with Johnson. Same formation Klamath Union has been running out with 2 bunched receivers on either side. Johnson back to pass, pump fakes, now looks deep downfield, but overthrows his receiver to the sideline, takes him out of bounds. Intended target was Gavin Coe, but unable to bring it in. 4th down looming.
If they had the right idea, the route was long enough for the 1st down. Just did a deep out route. But the ball was thrown out of bounds, could not bring it in. And looks like a possible punt here for Klamath Union.
Back to receive for Mazama. Brody Mahone, he's stationed about the 40. BJ Safford again to punt for Klamath Union. He'll punt from about the 20 on the other side of midfield. Safford certainly got a boot. Going to try to flip field position now for his guys. 4th down. And here it comes. Safford, the punt goes up about the 25. That is over the head of Mahone. Skips to the 20, to the 15. And it's going to stop at about the 12. That's a big league punt there from Safford, flipping field position, just what Pelicans needed.
That was a super kick.
Yeah.
I like how he didn't kick the ball immediately. He saw that he had some time, and he took a few steps forward, kind of kicked it on the run, and actually kicked it over the head of the receiver. So that ball took a good roll, and that was a monster punt.
That was a 59-yard punt by my quick math there. That's good punt. Mazama's going to have to take it from the 11 in their own territory.
Some good special teams play so far from KU.
Warner lined up to the right of the quarterback in the backfield. Mahone behind them. Klamath Union looks to be sending some pressure. It's a handoff to Mahone, trying to find some room on the far side. Gets past the line of scrimmage, upfield for a short gain of about 3 or 4 yards. 2nd down on the way for Mazama.
Nolan Baker tripped him up. He made the tackle. 2nd down and about 5.
Mazama scored their last time with the football. A 12-play drive. Took them 5 minutes to punch it in on a quarterback keeper. They started that drive in similar field position, a little bit better at the 22. They'll snap it here, 2nd and 5 from about the 16-yard line. Lee calls for the snap, goes for a pitch to Mahone, Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but he's tackled by a gang of Pelicans. Maybe a gain of 1, maybe no gain on that pitch play. Third down coming up for Mazama.
Coe and Johnson there for the Pelicans. And that was good defense. They saw that play develop, and they were out there in time.
There's a fake handoff to the fullback tight end type player there first, and then they pitch it to the running back. You wonder if that was an option. Was that designed on the pitch to the near side? You could start breaking out plays like that. It was a pretty nifty pitch there from Mazama.
Yeah. Kay did a good job of sniffing that out.
Yeah. So now just one man back there with Lee. That's Jaden Justice lined up to his left. Here's 3rd and 5. Lee back to pass. Feels some pressure to his backside. Now moves up in the pocket. He gets the 20. Gets the first down now to the 30. And he's brought down at the 35-yard line. Big gain on that play. Close to 20 yards on that carry. About 18. 1st and 10. Mazama.
That's one of those situations where you do almost everything right defensively. Good coverage down the field, but no one there to account for that quarterback.
Yeah.
And when you have a good quarterback like Lee, he sees some space, and he's able to pick up big yardage. So good decision there to run the football and pick up the first down.
That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. The Vikings driving, and they lead 6-0 as we head to the second in the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
At GINO'S on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at iloveginos.com. GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Second quarter begins now for the Canal Bowl between the Mazama Vikings and the Klamath Union Pelicans. You've got it here on mybasin.com. Josh Eldridge here alongside Kevin Petrick. As we start the second quarter, Mazama leads 6-0. They've got the football, and they've got it 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. But before we can get going, there is a flag pre-snap. Let's see what we've got here. Darren Rutledge again, our white cap tonight. False start Vikings. This one's coming back a little bit further. They'll face 1st and 15.
Those are frustrating penalties. You have the quarter break and a lot of time to figure things out and come out and move a little too soon. So to make a long first down here.
Again, 1st and 15. Lee with Justice to his left. Looks to be a handoff to Jaden Justice coming along the near sideline. Sheds one defender, gets up to the 35, brought down at the 40. Big time gain of about 12 yards. Oh, no, pardon me, about 7 yards on that carry. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Joaquin Saluskin with the tackle. He's pretty good at those shoestring tackles. He's made a few of those.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing he did because there was a lot of space down that sideline.
Jaden Justice, a senior, 5'10", 185 pounds, but he's stocky. He's a tough guy to bring down out there. Plays a little tight end as well as linebacker, taking the handoffs as well. Multi-tool athlete for Jaden Justice. 2nd down and about 6 is what it's officially listed as here for Mazama. Justice switches to the right side off the back of Kellen Lee. One receiver set out wide to the left. Lee takes the snap. It's a handoff to Justice. Misdirection, comes to the right side. Trudges upfield for a gain of about 6. He's brought down right at the marker. Looks like he might have just got it. Should be 1st and 10. Vikings from the 48-yard line.
That was a good cutback. He started to his left and made a sharp cut to his right. That's where the open lane was. and he was able to pick up the first down.
Vikings with 6 first downs here in the half so far. 11 minutes and counting left in the first half. 6-0 Vikings lead. Here's 1st and 10 from the 48. It's going to be a handoff to Mahone. Gets tripped up at the 50 and falls forward for another 4 yards. A gain of 6 on the carry. 2nd and 4 for the Vikings.
Aiden Caldera making the tackle that time.
You can get consistent positive yardage on those handoffs with Mahone. No reason to go away from it for the Vikings. Here's Lee calling for the snap, 2nd and 4. It's a play action pass. They look for the slant route, but I think a Klamath Union defender up front got a hand on it. Made the pass go wayward and incomplete. 3rd and 4 coming up for Mazama.
Yeah, Devin Weezer was in there making things difficult for Lee that time. Good rush. That'll take us to a 3rd down.
Mazama 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far tonight, but they are 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions. They're in Klamath Union territory. This could be considered 2-down territory for Mazama.
Sure.
2 receivers set out to the left. 1 tight end on the formation also to the left side. This is a handoff again to Mahone. He comes to the near side, gets the first down and a lot more. To the 25, to the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown Vikings. That is a 46-yard touchdown carry for Brody Mahone. It is now 12-0 Vikings with 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter.
They are just executing their offense just much better than their opponent tonight. Mazama really running the football. I really like teams that can mix up formations the way that they are tonight. You never know where they're going to set up, and that makes it tough for the defense to key in on any one player. That was a well-drawn-up play for a touchdown.
Looks like Mazama's lining up to go for a 2-point conversion. They were unsuccessful on the 2-point conversion attempt last time they scored the football, trying to get that point back now. What do we got? The official is giving some kind of signal to the quarterback. I think we're about ready to go, though. Mahone lined up to the left of Lee. And here we go. Sets a man in motion. That's Rogers going from right to left. It looks like he takes a sweep handoff, but just about every official threw their flag on that one. Mazama on a false start. They'll have to take this one back from even further. Seems to be something on these conversion attempts and penalties as of late, Kevin.
Yeah, having a hard time converting those points after touchdown. But that one looked like there was just confusion from the start. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Someone didn't know where to line up. So we'll try it again from 5 yards back.
From about the 7, a 2-point conversion attempt for the Vikings. Lee takes the snap, rolls to his right, trying to find someone close. He completes the pass at the 5, and making the catch was Barajas, but he still stopped short of the goal line. The 2-point conversion attempt is no good, and Mazama leads 12-0 with just a shade over 10 minutes to go in the first half. We'll continue your coverage of the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week next on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Mazama leading Klamath Union in the Canal Bowl, 12-0 with just over 10 minutes to go in the first half. The last drive for Mazama going 8 plays, lasting just under 4 minutes, and capping it off with a 46-yard touchdown rush for Brody Mahone. Mazama unsuccessful in the 2-point conversion attempt. That's how we get our score of 12-0.
Yeah, Mazama's first possession, they went 3 and out, and since then they have really put it together. They put together some good offensive series, and they're starting to take control of this game. KU really needs to start eliminating some of those mistakes and start executing just a little bit better on offense.
Looking to rely on some of their guys like Reese Johnson a season ago in this game. Passed for 4 touchdowns, 225 yards, 16 completions against the Vikings. Look for Johnson to try to make something happen for the Pelicans on this possession. The kickoff is fielded about the 25, bringing it up past the 35 and down around the 37.5-yard line for Klamath Union. I believe on the return was Ruano there for the Pels, and they'll have it 1st and 10, again from about the 42. The 38.
A lot of mistakes tonight made by the Pelicans. They're kind of unforced errors. You know, they're just mistakes that they're making on their own. Some drop passes and some penalties and some miscues. So they can clean that up. I think they can move the football. We'll see if they can do it here on 1st down.
Pelicans have 3 receivers lined up to the near side. Ruano out there with Johnson as well. They've got 2 receivers bunched up. They've got Kaufman in the slot. Now they're moving Saluskin back over. Looks like we might have a timeout for Klamath Union as they look to get this play call right with just about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's a big drive coming up for Klamath Union. Certainly want to get the first play right here for these guys.
Right. You don't want to get another penalty. We just mentioned that. So maybe best to take a timeout, talk about things, and figure it out.
Something Klamath Union having to deal with a little bit in this game. We know their line isn't exactly at 100% coming into tonight's contest, so they've been trying to do a couple of different things with their wide receivers. Had to kind of work on that late in the week, and so they've gotten the ball out creatively to the wide receivers a little bit in the early parts of the game. Just hasn't gone for very much positive yardage yet, but they can continue to work that out. It'll be there for them.
Yeah, Mazama's defensive backs, they're playing 8 to 10 yards deep on the side, so that may be something you could take advantage of. Just get a one-step drop, get the ball out there quickly, and make them make some changes on the outside. Maybe one thing you can do. That way you won't rely on so much pass blocking from your line.
All right, Pelicans back on the football. Looks like they've got their formation set up right. Bunched up in the slot, they've got 2 guys. Johnson with his running back to the right. Here's the 1st and 10 play. Johnson looks quickly to Kaufman, catches the ball at the 35, brings it up to the 40, swims over a defender, gets to the 50 before he's dragged out of bounds. A completion worth about 12 yards, maybe 13. Tilden Kaufman and the Pelicans with a 1st down.
That was a good-looking play. Kaufman made the catch, and he had a couple of blockers in front. That's just what you want. And a good 1st down.
Now the Pelicans driving downfield into Viking territory at the 49-yard line.
Neither team in a hurry tonight, Josh. It's really slow. We're not seeing a lot of quick up to the line play, just a lot of slow pace.
No reason to rush anything quite yet for either team.
Yep.
Running back goes in motion out wide to the right. It's a pass intended for him, but it winds up incomplete to Ruano. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
It's just another tough mistake for Klamath Union. Good play. They called the right play. Little swing pass to the far side. Just couldn't quite hang on. It brings up a 2nd down.
Mazama was right there to make the tackle, too, even if that pass was completed. Hard to say if Ruano would get very far anyway. But 2nd and 10 for Klamath Union. Again, they've tried to pass the ball a couple of times here on this possession. Going to have it from the near hash, again with Ruano to the right side of Reese Johnson. 3 receivers set up to the right side. They've got 1 here to the near side. It looks like Coe. Johnson back to pass, dumps it off in a screen, and he finds Ruano, gets to the 40, now to the 35, the 30, down to the 25, dragged out of bounds at the 22, and a nice screen pass there as the running back snuck out from behind the line of scrimmage, and a big-time completion worth nearly 20 yards and a 1st down for the Pelicans.
That's one of my favorite plays. Mazama had 5 rushing that time, and you do a little bit of acting down there. Those linemen, they purposely let those defenders run by, and all of a sudden there's just space in the middle. Quarterback dumps it over the top. That was a great play for a good gain.
Picking up a flag. What do we got?
It's on Mazama, so.
Sideline warning.
Gotcha. Sideline warning for the Vikings. Tackle was made right down in front of the Vikings bench, so Make sure everyone stays in line, but for Klamath Union, after that big-time completion, it'll be 1st and 10 from the Viking 22-yard line. Klamath Union driving deep downfield here on this possession. Johnson calls for the football, looks to his right side after dropping back to pass, finds Kaufman. Kaufman tackled after catching the ball. It pops free. Now the question is, did he catch it? Is it a fumble or is it an incompletion? What is a football move, Kevin?
Yeah, I would say
the
he
conversation we've had.
Yeah, I would say he made the catch, Josh.
I think so too.
He was open right in the middle of the field. It was a good pass, and he spun around, took a step, and then lost the football. So tough break for KU there, and Mazama will capitalize on a turnover.
So they'll take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll say it's about the 14-yard line. Maybe the 13. They take it over with 9:13 to go in the second quarter, and the Vikings lead the Pelicans 12-0. And we've got a whistle here and a timeout called for the Vikings. And we'll stick with you through this timeout. Reminder to stick around during our halftime show tonight. We'll break down the first half best we can, take a look around the basin, take a look forward on the schedule. Our halftime show tonight brought to you, of course, by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. They exist to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. Check them out, Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club.
One of the strengths I'm seeing tonight, I think KU's defensive backs are playing really well.
Yes.
They're really covering the receivers downfield. If there's a bright spot or a strong point to Klamath Union's team, I think it's their defensive backfield. They've done a nice job so far.
They forced Kellen Lee to have to do it himself on his legs
right.
a couple of times. And credit to Lee, he's been able to do it, but he hasn't had a whole lot of options to throw to tonight.
Right. They've all been underneath, and then they stopped the two-point conversion as well with good coverage. So Klamath Union defense doing a pretty good job. Let's see if they can get a stop here.
9:15 to go in the second quarter. Mazama has it 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. Carry comes up to the 20. Pardon me, it was from their own 12-yard line. Brings it up past the 20 to about the 22. And a gain of 8 or 9 yards brings up 2nd down for Mazama.
Griffin Johnson making a tackle for Klamath Union. And the Pelicans are having trouble making that first tackle with the initial contact.
Yeah.
And, they're breaking through that, then they're getting 7, 8, 9 yards. If they can just make those tackles when they first meet that running back, I think it will help them out a lot. Meanwhile, Mazama is just moving the football.
2nd down and short, about 2 to go for the Vikings. Lee calling for the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Mahone coming to the near side. Gets through the first point of contact, and he's taken out at about the 25-yard line. A gain of 4 on the carry, good enough for a Viking first down.
Vikings, they've been moving the football very methodically, very impressive for the better part of this first half.
7 first half first downs for the Vikings so far tonight. That's what they like to do. Always a possession ball game for the Vikings football program. Here's another option for a handoff. Again, coming to Mahone, dragging defenders with him for a gain of 6 on the carry. 2nd down and 4. Mahone taking about 3 Pelicans along for the ride on that one.
Yeah, another good example of yards after contact. They've got a good, strong group of runners over there at Mazama.
Looks like we got a player down on the field. We're going to take a break here in the second quarter. 8:20 to go in a 12-0 ball game. The Mazama Vikings lead the Klamath Union Pelicans in the Canal Bowl, the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO with live video tonight on mybasin.com. We'll be right back.
We drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Well, welcome back a bit sooner than we had expected. It looks like we're about ready to go as the player helped off the field. It'll be second down and about 4 to go for the Vikings as they drive in their own territory still, taking it from about the 33-yard line. Here's another handoff to Mahone. No, pardon me. It's a keeper for Lee. Has tons of room. Gets the first down past the 50 to the 40. Now to the 30, past the 25, and knocked out of bounds. Lee with a huge gain on that play. Vikings have it in the red zone, 1st and 10.
The key to that play, once again, was the ball fake. Really good ball work from the quarterback. It looked like it had gone to the fullback, and he just put it on his hip. No one really knew he had it till he was downfield.
Yeah, it was a 44-yard carry, unofficially, for the quarterback there, Kellen Lee. I guess not quite into the red zone yet. They've got it down at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. The Vikings will take it. Checking into the game for them is number 34 for Mazama. No 34 on our roster, but he's playing a little tight end there on the side. They got a receiver coming to the near side as well. Lee back there with Mahone as they face 1st and 10. Up 12-0 against the Pelicans with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Lee takes the snap. It's another handoff to Mahone. Sheds a tackle in the backfield. Does everything he can to even get back to the line of scrimmage. Is able to do that successfully. Nearly brought down for a loss. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 10.
I really like how they've been hiding the football. We've seen that a few times tonight, and you can't really make the tackle if you don't know where the football is.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done a good job on that, just crossing running backs and then faking the ball to each one. It's worked well for Mazama tonight.
He'll have it 2nd and 10 again from about the 23-yard line. Lee in the gun takes the snap, tries to hand it off to Mahone, but flag from the near side official. Looks like probably a false start. That's been a few times now tonight. You know, everyone's working out the kinks in week 1.
And they got a little anxious that time. I think that was going to be a play action pass. He had a receiver on the far side headed toward the end zone. He just got just a little jumpy. We'll try it again.
2nd and 15 coming up for the Vikings. Now they take it from the 28-yard line. Clock continuing to roll now, near 7 minutes, 15 seconds to go before we head to the locker rooms. Here's Lee. And calls for a hard count. The Pelicans jump. And they're going to give that penalty right back.
They're going to go right back where they started.
Encroachment there called on the Pels.
That time the Pelicans were a little bit anxious.
Bring up 2nd and 10.
See if the Vikings finally get to run this play they've been hinting at for a moment now.
They were thinking pass initially. We'll see if they've changed it up. 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Try it again, 2nd and 10. Lee calls for the snap. Another play action pass. There you go, looking for the end zone. Has a man all alone. It is caught. It is in for a touchdown. Ryzen McDonald, the junior, standing 6'2", in for the touchdown catch from about the 23-yard line. And the Vikings now lead 18-0.
Yeah, they didn't change that play, Josh. And they saw something they liked on that far side. Just a simple route to the corner, the far corner of the end zone. And Lee made a nice pass.
Just floated it right in there.
He did, right on the money. Another touchdown for the Vikings. They've stretched this lead out to 18.
They're going to try to go for 2 again, try to get some of these points back. They've been unsuccessful the previous 2 tries. But now Lee lined up, calls for the snap, a fake handoff to the fullback, and then a pitch to Mahone. He is going to shed the tackle and scamper over the goal line and into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful that time for Mazama, and they lead 20-0 with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. For Mazama, a 6-play drive lasting about 2 minutes and 10 seconds, capping it off with a 23-yard reception for Ryzen McDonald. And again, it makes the score 20-0 in favor of the Vikings.
That was a nifty play on the conversion. Lee running the football to the near side. Then as he drew some defenders, it was just a little two-handed push, just a little shove to his teammate, and they pick up the 2 points.
We'll remind you tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com is also brought to you in part by the Pacific Power Foundation, whose goal is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the Pacific Power Foundation has awarded over $13 million to various nonprofit organizations in the Pacific Northwest. Big thanks to Pacific Power for making those donations to our community and supporting our coverage of local high school baseball and basketball and football, for that matter,
all the
here on
sports.
mybasin.com. It's only been a month removed from baseball season, Kev, so
you had a long baseball season, Josh.
A little bit of autopilot coming through on that one.
You did a lot of work on the diamond.
Yeah, it was a blast, though. Our local team finished runners-up in the Northwest Regional, first time since 1968 they've been that far. So
that was quite a season. You're in Alaska.
Yeah.
You're all over the place.
Went to Idaho to cap off the season. It was a lot of fun.
It was great.
But here we go now. The Vikings set to kick things off to the Pelicans. The kick is up, goes to the far side. Looked like that was picked up by Jefferson. Fielded at about the 20, brings it past the 30. Now past the 35 to about the 36-yard line. That's where Klamath Union will start possession with 7 minutes to go in the first half, down 20.
All you can ask for is an opportunity, and I feel like KU has that. They've been able to move the football. They did a nice job on that last series. They ended in a turnover, so they can put some things together here. They can find the end zone before the half.
Find the end zone before the half, and they're due to receive to start the second half as well.
Right.
Certainly not a game that's over by any stretch.
No.
First and 10, they'll mark it at the 35 for Klamath Union as they drive from right to left. Last time out for the Pelicans, they drove the ball well, got it deep into Viking territory, but they fumbled it, and the Vikings took the ball and capitalized with their most recent drive. Pelicans need to respond here. First and 10, here we go. Johnson looks like he is alone in the backfield. He's got 3 men set up to the near side, 2 guys out to the right. Johnson drops back to pass, looks to the corner, and the pass is incomplete. Intended target on that throw was Nolan Baker, but it'll bring up second and 10.
Yeah, good coverage back there. Ball just thrown out of bounds on that one. Probably the right decision. That time they had 5 receivers running routes. So when you do that, you're by yourself back there in the backfield as a quarterback. You have to make quick decision because that defensive line is coming quickly right at you. And you made the right choice that time just to throw it away.
Second and 10 now for the Pels. Similar formation for Klamath Union. Johnson alone, 2 men to the right, 3 men to the near side. Calls for the snap. Looks quickly over the middle, finds his man. The pass is caught at the 40. It's Gavin Coe. Brings it up past the 45. Down in about the 48-yard line. And a first down for the Pelicans on that completion to Coe.
Coe made a nice move after the catch. He was able to spin out of that tackle and then pick up the first down.
He was left pretty much alone, too, about the middle part of the field. Klamath Union has had some success getting it just past the line of scrimmage down around the middle. We saw him do it with a screen earlier. That was something of a curl over the middle a little bit and found it there for the completion of the first down.
Yeah, we're not seeing any long bombs. We're not seeing anything deep. All the routes have been, you release a lot of receivers in a hurry, and you try to scan the field quickly and find that one that's open. And Johnson's done a good job with that so far.
Another banged-up KU player getting some help coming off the field again. It'll be first and 10 from the 48 when we come back for Klamath Union. For them, 5 first downs in the first half. They've done a fine job moving the football. Just got to capitalize to try to find the end zone here. They've been close a couple of times. Again, their last drive were close. They're trying to find pay dirt. It'll be first and 10 again for Klamath Union. Clock continues to roll now. 6:45 to go in the first half. 3 men set out to the right, 1 man on the near side. Johnson drops back to pass, looks for Ruano coming out in a wheel route, but the pass is incomplete, and it'll bring up second and 10.
That one thrown behind his receiver.
Pass incomplete.
That was just a little swing pass to the far side. That'll bring up a second down.
Tried to get it out to Ruano a number of times. That time might have had some room to cut up field, but yeah, you said it, just threw it behind his man there. So now they're going to have to face 2nd and 10. Reese Johnson over there talking to his head coach in his 2nd season, Josh Overstreet. Gets the play call in. Josh assisted by his dad, Michael, his brother, Jake, Vance Weaver, Mike Safford, Josh Gibson, and really great coaching staff there for Klamath Union. Orland Culp assisted by Sylvester Hall, Matt Penrod, Mitchell Saunders, Kyson Culp, and James Hubble. Here's the 2nd and 10 play for Klamath Union. Johnson alone in the backfield again. Takes a snap. Quick pass over the middle is incomplete. Intended target, I think, was Ruano again. It was just about a 2-yard route for him, but it falls incomplete. 3rd and 10.
It was. That was a quick slant, really quick. Just 2 steps off the line, and he was looking for the football. And they couldn't quite make the connection. But they are looking to throw the ball now almost exclusively on this drive. They've decided that's their best course of action.
Illegal man downfield against KU.
Johnson runs to the sideline and gets the play and then brings it back.
Also see Nolan Baker returning to the ball game. He left a moment ago, was a little bit banged up, but he's back out there in the huddle as well for Klamath Union.
Good news for them.
And I think we're trying to see, are we placing the football? I think there was an illegal man downfield penalty against Klamath Union. So Mazama has declined it, and instead of it being 2nd and long, it'll just be 3rd and 10. Looking to get the Pelicans off the field. So far tonight on 3rd down, they are 0-3. Johnson dropping back to pass. They go for that screen again over the middle. They found it to the 40, to the 30, now to the 20 with room. Saluskin takes it home for a Klamath Union touchdown from 52 yards out. The Pelicans are on the board. No flags down. The touchdown is good. It's 20-6.
That play's worked twice, and when you have an aggressive line like that, that's the perfect play to run. Joaquin made a nice cut down around the 15-yard line to finish off that run. Really good piece of running, and the Pelicans get on the scoreboard.
They're going to opt for the safe route of kicking the extra point. PJ Safford to kick. To hold is Ruano. And here we go. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Safford splits the uprights, and the score is 20-7. Klamath Union still trailing the Mazama Vikings, but that last drive for Klamath Union, it was 5 plays, about 45 seconds off the game clock, and they capped it off with a 52-yard reception for Joaquin Saluskin, the sophomore, bringing it home for Klamath Union's first points of the season.
Just some good execution. We've been talking about that all night. Good football there on that offensive drive by Klamath Union and put them back in the ball game.
Mazama will presumably be able to retake possession. Lots of time on the game clock. Again, 6:13 to go in the second quarter. Vikings would look to respond in their case. They've scored on each of their 3 previous drives.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, they really haven't been stopped.
Yeah.
They're moving the ball at will on their last 3 drives. So unless something changes here, Mazama is still in control.
So Safford will kick things off again from the 40. Back to receive for Mazama, the duo of Logan Barajas and Brody Mahone. Safford would love to try to pin the Vikings back. Some less than optimal field position. The Vikings have started with not great field position on a couple of occasions tonight, but still found a way to score.
Yeah, the Pelican special team's been very good.
It's been very good.
Yeah.
Here's Safford on the kick. That is going to go out and fielded near the 5. for Barajas, and then they try to hand it off, but they mix it up, bringing it out to the 10, and wrapped up there is Brody Mahone. Vikings trying to get a bit creative on the kick return, but it ends up biting them. They only get 5 yards out of the return, and they'll have to start at their own 10.
Yeah, good break for Klamath Union. You see that every once in a while. You put 2 players deep, and then one of them fields the football, and then they head one direction, and they hand it off to the other. And that time the handoff just wasn't made cleanly, and the ball was rolling around back there. So Mazama's going to start with a lot of green in front of them, 1st and 10.
Taking it from their own 10-yard line. He's got a couple men lined up to his left, one receiver to his right. Looks like a handoff to Mahone, trying to find some room around his blockers, and does. Finds a hole, brings it up to the 20, dragged down at the 22. A gain of about 12 on the carry for Mahone, and a 1st down for the Vikings.
They spent this entire first half just evading tacklers. That was another situation there, just contact at the line of scrimmage, but able to get through that initial line.
Well, good patience for Mahone, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he had less than nowhere to go at the start of that play. Was able to hang out behind the line of scrimmage and finally wait for a hole to open up and punch through it for 12 yards. Now his team takes it 1st and 10 from about the 23-yard line. Here's another handoff to Mahone. Again, trying to dance through the line of scrimmage. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 on the carry. It'll be 2nd down for the Vikings.
Much better that time. Some good interior tackling from the Pelicans, and a short gain.
2nd and 9.
Just picked up 1 on that carry.
They'll take it from the 25-yard line. 2 men set out to the left. Running back to the left as well of Lee. It's a play-action pass. Lee looks for a quick route over the middle, finds his man at the 35. He's quickly brought down there, but in on the reception was the junior Max Rogers. A gain of about 10, but good enough for a Vikings 1st down.
That was a good play fake, and then Rogers ran a really nice route. He found some space in that secondary. Just did a little button hook. Good enough for a 1st down.
They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line, and a flag as this one is snapped. They're going to say offsides against Klamath Union, it looks like, so Mazama will get a little head start on this 1st down play. Have it 1st and 5 from about the 42-yard line. Vikings still in their own territory, driving upfield. Clock reads 4:36 to go in the half, and they lead Klamath Union 20-7 in the 47th Canal Bowl. Lee readies his line for the 1st and 5 play. It's a handoff again to Mahone, blows past everybody, gets past the 45-yard line, and a late flag might have been on the tackle, but the defensive front for Klamath Union got in the backfield that time, but Mahone just got around them all.
Yeah.
That was something to watch.
Yeah, he's been really good at that tonight.
Yeah, real patient.
Gavin Coe was able to step in there and stop the play before it got too far downfield.
So flag stays out there. I thought he was going to pick it up.
Personal foul, face mask against KU.
Gotcha. So face masking against KU is going to be the call there. And so we will move forward an extra 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 Mazama. And they'll take it now in Klamath Union territory at the 41-yard line.
Just another unfortunate situation. They played pretty good defense there, and the penalty just negated that play.
2 men lined up to the near side for Mazama. McDonald and then Rogers lined up in the slot. We've also got Jaden Justice in at the running back position, lined up to the right of Kellen Lee. Their tight end lined up on the right side as well. And we've got a whistle and I think a timeout for Klamath Union. They trail Mazama 20-7 with 3:52 to go into the 2nd quarter. Want to remind you that tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com is brought to you in part by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. They know that picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals.
Mazama coaching staff has a pretty good view over there. I don't know if you've been here and seen one of the tallest coaching boxes in the state.
Yeah, right across the way. It's a direct shot to. On mybasin.com, you can see the lonely box up there.
It's way up
the filmers, the coordinators up there.
I was going to go up there, Josh, but I didn't want to hire a Sherpa.
Yeah, it does feel like you might as well need one.
20 flights up that thing.
Very true. I would not trust myself climbing up those stairs.
They have a good vantage point, though, and they're doing a good job tonight.
It's a really great facility here at Mazama. The newly turfed field, I think, is about 3 or 4 seasons old now at this point. It looks really great out here. It was part of a grant to the school district that used the same kind of money to revitalize the gym in Bonanza and in Chiloquin, which just finished construction or is pretty close to finishing, I believe, as well. A lot of improvements to the Klamath County School District.
Some nice facilities, yes.
So here we go, 1st and 10, Mazama again now at the Klamath Union 41. Lee drops back to pass, has all kinds of time, and it is incomplete over the middle. Intended target, Max Rogers streaking across the middle of the field, just overthrew him. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You're right, Josh. He had plenty of time. Good work from his offensive line to give him time. And we haven't seen the ball thrown deep too much tonight, but that was a good effort there. Just fell incomplete.
Had 2 guys going vertical that time for Mazama. Good coverage downfield for Klamath Union. Forcing the overthrow on that one to intended target Rogers. So Mazama now 2nd and 10 again from the 41-yard line. They've got McDonald again lined up on the near side, Barajas in the slot. Also got Jackson Warner lined up as the tight end. And it looks like an option for Lee, trying to string it out to the near side. Gets the pitch off late to Mahone, who's able to get past the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. A great option, and then the pitch there for Lee gets the Vikings a 1st down after a gain of 12.
Yeah, that was well done. There's a lot of timing involved in that play. And you want to wait till just the last second where you can safely make that pitch. You draw some defenders your way, and that was done just right. Good gainer.
The 1st down there for Mazama. That's 11 so far on the night. They have it 1st and 10, again from about the 27-yard line in Klamath Union territory. Lee calls for the snap, fakes the handoff, leaps over the line of scrimmage to get back to the sticks. It'll be 2nd and 10. So that play just tried to get anything out of it. Got back to the line.
Yeah, Aiden Caldera was right there. Good defense, no gain.
Good line play up front again for the Vikings. Want to highlight some of their guys up front. Carter Story, Anthony Idrogo, Omar Ruelas, Brighton Hunt, Abraham Sanchez, the guys who started the game at least for Mazama. They've done a fine job of creating space for the guys coming out of the backfield. This time with Lee, there's 2 of them, 1 on either side. 2 receivers set out to the left. Here's the snap. It is a keeper again for Lee. Right up the middle. He's brought down at about the 21-yard line. Call it a gain of 7 or so on the carry. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Man, Maruk Morris put a hard hit on him that time.
Yeah, he did.
That was probably the toughest hit we've seen all night. But it still was good for a pickup of 5 or 6. It'll be 3rd down for the Vikings.
Vikings 1 for 3 on 3rd down so far tonight, and they're going to have to do this one from a little further back as they pick up a false start penalty. It'll bring them back to about 3rd and probably 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, that makes things a little more difficult. You're back to 3rd and 9 now. And as we've mentioned before, this is probably 2 down territory. They'll probably get 2 chances here to pick up this 1st down.
2 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 20-7 ball game. Mazama leads Klamath Union, and they've got the football. 3rd and 9 from the Klamath Union 26-yard line. And it looks like we are going to have the final charged timeout for Mazama this half. To be exact, 1:44 left to go before we go to locker rooms in a 20-7 ball game. Want to remind you tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker, Holman Premier Realty. They know that little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. Coldwell Banker, Holman Premier Realty's exclusive beyond the sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker, Holman Premier Realty today. Also want to give a shout out to God's Gifts Photography, and Annalisa Casson saw her last night in Tule Lake. She's taken photos here tonight at the Canal Bowl as well. Takes great photos of your individual student athlete or of your entire team. Search her up on Facebook at God's Gifts 2, or you can search her up on Google. It's God's Gifts Photography. Annalisa does a great job. In fact, many of the photos you'll probably see on mybasin.com through the academic year, they're taken by her. She does a great job.
Yeah, whenever I see her, I ask her about the teams for some scouting. She's been to more games than I have.
Very true.
She's all over the place.
Yeah.
She does a great job.
Very true. 3rd and 9 coming up for Mazama. Again, it's from about the 26-yard line in Klamath Union territory. Mazama leads by 13 with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Lee takes a snap, pitches it out to Mahone, dodges one defender, gets it back to line of scrimmage, stays on his feet, dragged down at the 15, and another big gainer for Mahone of about 12 yards, and a first down for the Vikings. They've got it in the red zone at the 19.
I think at halftime, Klamath Union is going to discuss tackling just a little bit. They're just having a rough night making the tackle early in the play, and I think if they're able to improve that, it'll help them a lot in the third and fourth quarter.
They've gotten some hands on Mahone in the backfield, but he's just been able to shed off that first tackle. Here's 1st and 10 for Mazama again. Lee rolling out to the near side, looking to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Max Rogers on the reception, and the Vikings now lead 26-7 with 1:16 to go in the first half.
Rogers just dragging the back of that end zone. Made a good decision. He didn't quit on the play. He was kind of running out of room in that corner, but he kept going that direction. And Lee made a nice throw to extend Mazama's lead.
It's Rogers' first touchdown catch of the season, that one from 19 yards out. And now Mazama again looking to go for the 2-point conversion. They hand it off to Mahone, who goes right up the middle and into the end zone for a successful 2-point conversion. It is 28-7. Mazama leads Klamath Union with 1:16 to go before halftime. And our halftime show brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club, but tonight's broadcast also brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. That drive for Mazama lasting 9 plays and about 4 minutes, 45 seconds, capping it off with that 19-yard reception. That's now 4 straight scoring drives for the Vikings as they lead now by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they've done just about everything you can do offensively. They've played really good football the last 4 possessions. Really no question. They just moved the ball down the field and scored a touchdown every time. They've also done a little better job on the conversions. I think they figured that out as well.
Hasn't been a ton of turnovers, though.
No.
The Vikings would be winning that battle. Klamath Union's turned the ball over once.
Right.
It did turn into 6 points, though, on the other end, so certainly costly at that. But here we go. Klamath Union with a chance. If they can make something happen in 1:16. Could make it an interesting halftime for both teams. But here we go. The kick is going to roll out to about the 30. That's where it's picked up, brought out past the 35 to the 40. And about the 43-yard line there for the return for Klamath Union. I believe that was Traven Ruano, the junior back, in on the return. And Klamath Union with decent field position they needed if they want to get points out of this drive with only 1:11 remaining in the half.
They'll have enough time. They'll have to hustle, though. Try to throw the football and use the sidelines. And they've got pretty good field position here, so approaching midfield.
Capped off their last drive with a 52-yard reception to Waukon-Saluskin. Could be looking for another big gainer here early in this possession. They take it 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Reese Johnson sends Ruano out in motion to the right. Looks over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Good protection on that play for Mazama. The intended target was Gavin Coe, but it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Max Rogers got to the play just a little late, but he had just enough time to break up that pass. So good work from Max on that defense there.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Coe is just pretty much running a post route, trying to come back across the middle of the field. But those big downfield plays, what Klamath Union's probably going to try to rely on here up against it with the clock here late in the first half. Johnson alone in the backfield. Can anticipate what's coming up next. They send a man in motion and a flag thrown. They're going to say offsides on Mazama. I believe that's the call anyway. Yep, there it is.
It's like one of those linemen lined up in that neutral zone.
So it should be 2nd and 5 now for Klamath Union. Nearing midfield at the 48. This is where they had that big play last time out. 3 receivers set out to the right, 2 to the near side for Reese Johnson. And again, Mazama jumps over the line of scrimmage. Klamath Union going to get a 1st down out of this one. It'll be about 1st and 10 from about the 47-yard line on the other side of midfield. Now Klamath Union, without any time off the game clock, they just got a 1st down.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's a good situation for KU. No time has elapsed, and they picked up 10 yards.
So now here we go again. 1st and 10 from the 47. Johnson fakes a pass to the near side. Now looks over the middle, trying to find Tilden Kaufman, but he overthrows him downfield. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Johnson went with a pump fake, tried to get that deep pass, but there was good coverage. 2 back in that zone for Mazama. And they'll get a couple more chances here on 2nd down.
There is 59 seconds remaining in the first half. A 28-7 lead for Mazama in the Canal Bowl. Klamath Union trying to cut into this deficit a little bit before we head to the locker rooms. They've also got P.J. Safford, who's got himself a boot. They could try to find themselves into field goal range too, and that could be pretty close to closing in on field goal range for Safford. Kaufman goes in motion from right to left. Johnson drops back to pass, looks deep along the right sideline. The pass is caught, brought into the end zone, and a Klamath Union touchdown. Saluskin again with a deep catch and 6 points on the board for the Pelicans. They trail 28-13.
Reese Johnson really showing his skills right there. When he has time, he sets his feet, and he has a strong arm. He threw that down to about, what did he make the catch, Josh, about the 5?
About the 5, yeah. So that's near 35 yards in the air for Johnson.
Yeah, so just a super pass and a nice touchdown to end the half here for the Pelicans.
48 yards on the reception for Saluskin. That's his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. Now P.J. Safford looking to knock through the extra point. The hold is there, but Mazama blocks it. I think that might have been Warner in there. I also see,
I think Hinklin might have been in there.
Sanchez as well coming off near the play. Someone got a hand on it and denied the extra point.
Yeah.
And so 28-13 our score. 50 seconds remain in the first half for Klamath Union on that drive. They go 56 yards in about 20 seconds, and they cap it off with a 48-yard touchdown catch. 2nd one of the night for Waukon-Saluskin. 2nd touchdown as well for Reese Johnson at the quarterback position. And again, the score 28-13.
That was an important play. They're only down by a couple of scores. They will get the ball first. in the third quarter. So very important play to keep KU in the game.
Yeah, remember, they get the ball back to start the second half as well, so as long as they can avoid disaster and Mazama finding the end zone in 50 seconds, they'll be in a good spot coming out of the locker rooms after halftime. It's a really important scoring drive there for KU.
It was. They did a nice job inside of 2 minutes. Keep this game close.
Safford to kick things off for the Pelicans. Back there again for Mazama. It's Mahone and Barajas. And we look about ready to go. Safford readies his special teams. Walks up to the ball, and the kick is a line drive that's stationed at about the 10. Mahone fields it there at the 10, brings it up to the 15. He's met at the 15, but sheds 2 defenders. Now brings it up to the 20, gets by another one to the 25. Finally taken out at about the 25-yard line. Big time return for Mahone. Had to do a lot of that heavy lifting himself and brought it back out for a return of about 15 yards.
Yeah, didn't look good at the start. Looked like he might have been in trouble, but made a nice run to the near side, headed toward that sideline, and they'll get pretty good field position to start here.
39 seconds on the game clock. Mazama, I believe they are out of timeout, so it looks like they have one more timeout remaining. I stand corrected, at least according to the scoreboard here. Going to have to be selective with that as they look to try to punch it in before halftime themselves. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 28. It's a handoff to Mahone, stays on his feet, brings it past the 35, finally dragged down at the 40, and another 12-yard carry for Brody Mahone gets the Vikings another first down to their 13th of the night.
He has shown tonight he is a really, really strong runner.
Yeah.
He's had a good half.
Last season, Mahone didn't get a ton of opportunity, only carried the ball 13 times for 57 yards. He's probably carried the ball over 13 times tonight. 1st and 10. Here's Lee back to pass, rolling out to his left. Has lots of room along the left side. Looks down the sideline. The pass is incomplete. Just looking to get rid of it as he was moving out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go with the football. We've been talking about those defensive backs for KU all night. Nice job on that play as well. And a good decision by the quarterback. You don't want to throw an interception here.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up the ball, so just throw it away. Sometimes that's the best decision to make.
Incompletion stops the clock at 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Mazama with the football and the lead. 28-13 the score. And
there's a player down on the far side, Josh. I'm not sure if it's just a cramp situation. Yeah, we've seen a few of those tonight, yeah.
Well, we've got a brief moment here, a break in the action as we tend to the player there on the far sideline. Want to give you an idea of what's coming up next for both of these teams. For Mazama, after this evening's game against Klamath Union, they've got another home date against Mountain View. That's coming up on Friday next week, the 12th. They'll be playing the 5A Mountain View squad. For Klamath Union, they've got a home game next week too, except they're playing on Thursday night. They're playing at Modoc Field, 7 o'clock Thursday against Lapine. So come on out and support the Pelicans. Last year, Lapine was their only win on the schedule that was not a forfeit. So looking to make another statement against that fellow 3A school in Lapine. Then they head out on the road for a couple of games against South Umpqua and Sutherland before returning for homecoming the first weekend in October against Cascade Christian. For Mazama, I believe their homecoming game will be the following weekend, October 10th, against Hidden Valley. That would be my most educated guess since it's not officially listed. But
we'll see if Mazama plays conservative here or if they decide to actually try to move the ball down the field. They may just run the football here.
16 seconds. You got really one shot at this. It's 2nd and 10 from the 40 in their own territory. It's going to be a handoff to Mahone. Stays on his feet, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Positive gain of about 3 yards. But no timeout being called. That will bring us to halftime. A game with a score of 28-13. The Mazama Vikings leading the Klamath Union Pelicans in the 2025 Canal Bowl. Stick with us as we bring you the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show on the other side. This is the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO with live free video tonight on mybasin.com.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
It's time now for the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to come on out and join Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. At halftime tonight, the Canal Bowl, the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week. It is 28-13. The Mazama Vikings lead the Klamath Union Pelicans. Mazama moving the ball pretty much at will through most of the first half, but Klamath Union coming alive with a couple of scores in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think things went about as well as it could for Klamath Union to close out that half. They're only down by 2 scores. Mazama really dominated on offense, yet they only lead by 15. So Klamath Union, the key to their second half, they're going to have to play from behind. And we know they can throw the football, so if they execute as they should, they could catch up. But I think they're going to need to speed up the pace a little bit, because when you're playing from behind, you can't afford to take all the time. They've been taking a lot of time between snaps.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's a tall order, but you may have to pick up the pace a little bit, keep throwing the football. As far as Mazama is concerned, they're just controlling the ball. They just do what they've been doing. If they can keep moving the ball like that, marching down the field, they're going to be in good shape.
At Klamath Union, one of the things you talked about for them was trying to just make that first tackle a little bit more. They've been able to get into the backfield okay, but Mahone has just ran like a madman tonight. He's been able to shed off defenders, and he's taken it for a few pretty big gains.
Yeah, it's kind of half and half. Half of the equation is KU needs to tackle a little better, but the other half is, Brody's playing great.
Yes,
so
he's
a very good runner. So that's going to be a challenge for them, because he has just not been stopped at the line of scrimmage. He's been able to get down the field 5, 6, 7 yards a time.
Yeah, Klamath Union going to try to focus on getting off the field a little bit more. They allowed Mazama 13 first downs in the first half. For their part, they picked up 6 first downs in the first half. Klamath Union was 1 for 4 in third down conversion attempts. Mazama was 2 for 4 on such attempts. They were also perfect on fourth down in that first half as well. Not a whole lot of third down opportunities for either team. They've been kind of moving the ball early and often. You talked about Mahone getting those, 7, 6 yards per carry. And then for Klamath Union, the other side for them, they're not really chipping away. They're going for big gains. two scores worth 52 yards and 48 yards apiece for Klamath Union.
Yeah, that seems to be their best option, and they really haven't had too much of a problem dealing with the pressure. Johnson's had time to throw, so he's been sacked a couple of times, but for the most part, he's able to move back there, set his feet, and throw the football where he needs to.
We'll give you specifically what happened throughout our first half. Both teams traded punts on their opening possession, but Mazama got the ball back with 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. After 11 plays and a 4-yard touchdown rush by Kellen Lee, their quarterback, they led 6-0. Klamath Union goes 3 and out on their next possession. Mazama gets it back, and in 4 minutes, they run off 8 plays for a very long 89-yard touchdown series, capping it off with a 46-yard rush from Brody Mahone. That made it 12-0. Klamath Union responded by getting deep into Mazama territory, but a fumble in the red zone allowed the Vikings to get the ball back at their own 14-yard line, where in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds and 6 plays, they drove down the field, capping it off with a 23-yard touchdown catch. That was from Ryzen McDonald, making the score 20-0 just a few minutes into the second quarter. But Klamath Union did finally find the end zone on their next possession in 5 plays and 60 seconds of game time. A 52-yard connection between Watkins-Saluskin and Reese Johnson made it 20-7. Mazama, with 8 plays of their own and 5 minutes off the game clock, a 19-yard connection between Kellen Lee and Max Rogers made it 28-7. And Klamath Union got the ball back with only 1:10 to go in that first half. They were able to get 4 plays off, and they capped it off with a 48-yard touchdown connection between Watkins-Saluskin and Reese Johnson. That is how we get our score of 28-13 at halftime. We're going to step aside once more during our Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. When we come back, we'll take a look around the basin and around the state of Oregon. It has been an exciting week 1 so far, and it continues around the state this evening. We'll be back with more of the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week and the Canal Bowl after this on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Subaru, you're coming home.
Our coverage continues at halftime tonight as the Canal Bowl featuring the Mazama Vikings and the Klamath Union Pelicans. 28-13, Mazama leads during the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Take a look around the Klamath Basin. Some other games going on tonight. Don't have score updates from any of these contests, unfortunately, but we will tomorrow morning or throughout the weekend on mybasin.com. Be sure you keep your eyes there for all your local news and sports and special events. Your home for everything in the basin is on mybasin.com. GINO'S.com. But a couple of other games going on this evening. Lost River, a neutral site game tonight. They're playing up at Lowell High School. They're playing Colton this evening. Bonanza, also another team in the 2A classification. They are at home tonight. They are playing Glide for their season opener. Chiloquin playing Sandium this evening. Chiloquin, a 1A 8-man school, but taking on Sandium, a 2A school. Opportunity for them to try to get their first win of the season. And then in the other part of the 1A classification, Cross Point Christian School, they're not in action tonight. They're playing tomorrow against what might be the game of the week around the whole state. So you talk about number 1 in the 1A class, Adrian, taking on number 3, Cross Point Christian. Certainly be a good game tomorrow afternoon. I believe they're playing at a neutral site at Doofer as well for that one tomorrow afternoon. Around the Big Sky Conference this evening, for which Mazama participates in. Some other games going on this evening. Ashland has been playing Del Norte, a team from Northern California along the coast in Crescent City. Also have, of course, Marshfield playing Siuslaw, and Henley was supposed to have a game tonight against Lakeview, although that game was canceled late yesterday afternoon. The Honkers unable to put a team together to face the Hornets. So interestingly enough for Henley, next week will be their first game, and they're going to have one heck of a challenge against Marist Catholic, the defending state champs, the team that they faced last 2 years in the state championship game.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a challenge. Marist will have already played a game by that point.
They'll play 2 games. They played in week 0 too.
Yeah, so to come out on your 3rd game and then the Hornets will be just, coming out for their first time. It's going to be a challenge, but those 2 teams usually play they play pretty hard against each other. It should be another good one.
Yeah, we'll be along with you for that game next week. Marist Catholic coming down to play Henley at Henley High School. Hope to continue our game of the week next week as well, Thursday night, as Klamath Union plays Lapine as well. Looking at their league and what else is going on in their neck of the woods in the 3A classification tonight. Phoenix on the road to the coast to play Brookings. That game started at 7 o'clock tonight. You've also got Cascade Christian. They are playing Douglas tonight in Medford. Those are the only other couple of games going on. I know North Valley, they play Coquille. That's coming up tomorrow in 3A Special District 5, for which Klamath Union calls home. This will be their 2nd season playing in the 3A classification. A lot of folks wonder how the rule is to move back up to the 4A classification. From what I recall, what the OSA lays out is you got to win at least 40% of your games across the 2 seasons that you're down a classification, or you've got to make the playoffs once to be eligible to move back up into your normal classification. Klamath Union only won 2 games a season ago, so they're looking to make a postseason appearance and make their way back up to the 4A class next year. Certainly not out of the question with how they've played tonight. They've shown a lot of confidence, airing the ball out. They've played good defense in the secondary. Just got to shore up that tackling. Yeah,
they're on their way. They made some improvements even tonight as the game has progressed. They've done some things very well. So this first possession, there's pivotal points in every game. That first possession of the 3rd quarter is going to be important.
Yeah.
For KU to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, Klamath Union should be getting the ball back coming out of the locker rooms. Both teams ready to reemerge from the locker rooms as well. They'll have a few minutes to warm up the legs before we get ready for 3rd quarter action, but it is on the way at the GINO'S Cafe game of the week. Remember, GINO'S Cafe on East Main Street is open every morning at 6:30, serving up their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online at iloveginos.com, or you can place your order, have it brought to you right on DoorDash. Our coverage of the GINO'S Cafe game of the week, the Canal Bowl, continues next on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO with live free video on mybasin.com. We'll be back.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Josh Eldridge alongside Walter Hartley now back with you for the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week, the Canal Bowl featuring the Mazama Vikings and the Klamath Union Pelicans. As we near the start of the third quarter, it is a 28-13 ball game in favor of Mazama. Walter, you're down out there watching a little bit of the first half. Might have a different perspective than Kevin and I did. What are some of the things you saw down there in the first half?
So I noticed these two teams are very good at what they do. I think that KU, they have the size, they have the talent to compete. They just made a couple of dumb errors, like Kevin was saying, and they ended up with the score 28-13. I think that if they hadn't had that fumble back there, a couple of the plays that they missed, they could have been right up there, one score or two away.
Oh, you're certainly right. Last year during this game, it was a very similar, tightly contested first half. I think it's going to be important for Klamath Union to really try to come out with some fire here in this third quarter, because last year in the third quarter in this game they were outscored 21-6, and so it's going to be important for them to maintain possession of the football, try to punch it in for 6 here, get the third quarter off and running to the right start for head coach Josh Overstreet, looking to win his first Canal Bowl and the first Canal Bowl for Klamath Union since 2013.
I think it's also very important to note that both of these quarterbacks are not seniors.
Right.
So we've seen. We've got Reese Johnson for KU, who's a junior.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and then we've got Lee for Mazama, who's a sophomore. Which to be the starting quarterback of a 4A team as a sophomore is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and he's looked the part too. He's done a nice job maneuvering in the pocket. He's done a good job hiding the football. That was something that Kevin and I noticed throughout that first half. The option, the keepers, the delayed handoffs, the pitches. The running game has worked well for Mazama tonight. On the contrary, Klamath Union's pass defense has been good. So both teams, I think, kind of felt each other out a little bit in the first half. Klamath Union going to start with possession in the second half. I expect this one to be a little bit more smash mouth, a little bit more in your face in the second half. Both these teams now know what each other has. And I think we're in for a good second half here.
Yeah, it seems to me that Mazama is able to do whatever they want in terms of the running game. So I think they're going to do that a lot more here in the second half. Although Lee does have a nice deep ball, as we saw in the first half. Nice tight spiral, lofted up to your receiver. Just trust your receiver to go and get it.
Yeah, had a couple of nice touchdown passes, one to Ryson McDonald, one to Max Rogers. Deep touchdown receptions for Klamath Union throughout the first half, a 48-yard and a 52-yard catch for Walkin Saluskin. Here we got Walter, take it away with our play-by-play.
All right. We've got Willis from Mazama about to kick it off. The ball is up and away. It's deep. Caught at around the 15. KU brings it up the field. He's tackled. Oh, and there's still a lot of action going on, and ref calls it off at around the 20.
Yeah, it looks like he might have brought it up to the 25. I think that was that Morris who brought it up? It might have been Johnson as well. But he brought it up to about the 30 and then was pushed back to about the 27-yard line. So that's where Klamath Union will take over, 1st and 10 from the 27.
Right, we saw a lot of what we saw last half. KU trying to bring it up, not really getting the blocks in. We see a lot of good defense from Mazama here, especially with the run. So I think we'll see KU rely on the pass a lot more. We see KU lining up right now with 4 to the left, 1 to the right receivers. No one in the backfield with Johnson. And there's a flag on the play.
A referee kind of walked up and dropped the flag at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if this was maybe an illegal formation for Klamath Union. It looks like that's what it is. So against Mazama, actually, pardon me. So this one is moving up. Klamath Union getting a little bit of a break here to start this third quarter.
And they could absolutely use that break. They're down 13-28. They're still being competitive. They still got a whole nother half to go. We'll see what these two teams can bring to the field. Johnson back to pass, a little screen action out to Saluskin, and he'll go up the left sideline. Oh, big hit laid down by Kellen Lee, the quarterback, actually, on the other side of the field.
Flag on the play. 2 flags.
Flag on the play.
Looks like the flag was thrown out around the 30. It's a holding call against Klamath Union. So this one's coming back rather. But yeah, you're right. Saluskin caught the ball in the backfield. He's able to bring it up and brought it past the marker, but all for naught, it seems. This one's coming backwards.
And as I was trying to say, that big hit was laid down by the quarterback of Mazama. What a hit for a quarterback.
Yeah, Kellen Lee, as well as playing quarterback, you'll also see him out there at the safety position. It's something that's fairly common in this level of high school football in the 4A class. You still see a lot of guys play both sides. And, yeah, Kellen Lee laying the smack down a little bit, playing some safety for Mazama. After that penalty, they're going to walk this one back. Holding against Klamath Union, get the sign again. So,
holding KU and personal foul against KU.
Gotcha, personal foul against KU as well. So this one's coming way, way back. We could be looking at a 20-plus yard penalty here for Klamath Union.
Now, did that happen on the line of scrimmage, or what happened?
Yeah, I didn't quite see the personal foul. The holding, I'm sure, was pretty obvious for the officials down on the field.
Of course.
But I didn't quite catch what the personal foul was. But that's going to damage Klamath Union, taking them all the way back to about the 17. So it'll be 1st and 22.
Wow. And as we've mentioned before, it's a beautiful night for football. It's a clear 71 degrees. Perfect for if you're a player, not getting too sweaty down there. Beautiful if you're in the audience. You got to put on a little sweatshirt, protect you from the bugs that are amassing.
That's the truth. A lot of bugs. Fed the mosquitoes well tonight, Walter.
Yeah. Well, I noticed Katie, she got bit a couple times too, our camera woman.
All of us have.
Reese in the backfield, one man to help. He passes over the center, out of the hands of Kaufman. And is that caught?
No, I believe that was incomplete. Almost coming up for an interception was Lee. Again, playing that safety position. He dove for the football after it was tipped by Kaufman, but was unable to pick it up off the turf. So it falls harmlessly. It'll be 2nd and 22.
And I like the way that they're going with this. Their strategy. You got to pass when they've got these long yardage, especially if you're KU. Your run game's not all there.
One of the things we found out, before this game, Klamath Union, unsure exactly how it came to be or who exactly it is, but their coaching staff told me their line's not at 100% tonight. They still feel good about it, obviously, but they're trying to be creative with that passing game for that reason. It's worked out here and there, but now they got it 2nd and long.
Reese hands it off, and he's tackled in the backfield. That was
loss of 4 yards.
I think that might have been Day back there. No, Jordan Cruz, I think, on the carry. I think it was a fumble on the handoff. So now Klamath Union faces 3rd and 26 from their own 13-yard line.
Wow.
Gonna have to come up with something big here for Reese Johnson, but drawback here is that now Mazama expects you to probably lay it out deep, 3rd and very long.
Absolutely. I mean, what else can you do? They've got KU has so much talent returning in the receiver position from last year. Most of these players were on the field last year starting, so we'll see what they can do to make this work. Reese Johnson, he's 6'4", and he's got a great arm. They're in a good spot to throw. They just need to be able to give him time to make his reads. Johnson goes back to pass, a little screen play that we saw the last 3 times, up the sideline to the 35, and he won't pick up that first down.
Gain of about 24, though, on that catch for Ruano. Brought it out to about the 35. The yard to gain is the 37. Klamath Union could consider going for it here, but Walter, you're exactly right. It was that little screen pass where the offensive line lets the Mazama front 5 get through, and then they just dump it off to the running back, who pretty much gets all of his yards after the catch on that 24-yard reception. It's 4th and 2.
It's been about the only sure play that KU has had this whole game. They've had other plays. They've got the over the middle little slant route type deal, but so far this pass play has been really sure for them. And it's going to be a offsides on defense.
Mazama jumping there on the hard count for KU. They've been able to execute that well. The front line for Klamath Union
got him to jump.
Yeah, they're doing well on the hard count tonight. That's the 3rd time they've gotten Mazama to jump, and in short yardage, this will give them a first down.
Exactly what they need.
Oh, they're calling false start against KU here.
Ooh.
I thought Mazama certainly jumped across the line, but they must have done it because KU flinched first. I stand corrected. I didn't think I saw anybody flinch up there, but the official certainly did. It'll bring up 4th and 7.
Let me just bring up how beautiful this contrast is. You got the red from KU, you got the royal blue from Mazama. It's just a great thing to see them clash.
It looks real good out there. That's certainly the case. It's a storied rivalry. It's got to be red versus blue after all.
Absolutely. Johnson takes the snap, goes back, passes it over the middle. It's bumbled and it's caught. Did he get the first down?
Well, the far side official seems to think that he got it with forward progress. The near side official is a yard shorter, so this is going to really depend on the spot. It was Ruano who made the catch. The spot is going to say first down Klamath Union. A 4th down conversion for the Pels keeps this drive alive at the 38-yard line.
A great little snag by Ruano there to not only get it after it bumbled, but to be able to hold on to it while you're being tackled.
Yeah, that was probably the most impressive part, was holding on to that football after bobbling it at first, bringing it in for the first down.
All right, we'll see Johnson alone in the backfield. We've got quads to the left, 1 to the right. He'll roll back. Floats it up long. And is that pass interference from Mazama there?
I thought it should have been, but the official just calls it incomplete. The receiver down the sideline for Klamath Union got kind of tripped up against Mazama. The cornerback was Brody Mahone, and he sort of tripped in front of the Klamath Union receiver, stopped him from getting to the football. But I suppose no pass interference on that one, since it was inadvertent, maybe. But 2nd and 10 coming up for Klamath Union.
So does intention matter when it comes to pass interference?
Well, I don't think he ever tried to interfere with a pass like that, but I don't think he was necessarily playing the man instead of the ball. I think he just fell over. And so while he may have interfered with the potential to catch the ball, I don't think he interfered on the receiver's behalf. He just was in the way.
All right. Well, we see KU in shotgun again. Trips right. 2 to the left. Johnson alone in the backfield. KU still setting up, it looks like. Ball is snapped. Johnson rolls out to the right. He looks downfield, and he'll fire it over the middle, and that'll pick up about 8.
Johnson rolled out to the sideline there and was able to find Gavin Coe upfield for about 8 yards. Coe couldn't get very far, had to kneel down to the turf to bring that one in, but it brings up 2nd and 1 for KU after another solid completion there for Reese Johnson. Again, just able to roll out to the side and looking good while doing it. Again, our score 28-13, 9 minutes to go.
All right. Johnson accompanied by Jordan Cruz in the backfield. He'll go back to pass, fires, it's low again, and this time it is not caught.
Yeah, intended receiver that time was Ruano, just short hopped him on that throw.
This will bring up 4th and 1 for KU.
Ticker out there says 4th and 1. I thought it was 3rd down. The official is keeping count, but regardless, it's a short yardage situation. Whether it's 3rd or 4th down, Klamath Union wants to get this yard for themselves. Johnson gets the sign in from Josh Overstreet, head coach for KU.
It'll be interesting if we see them go with a hard count this time.
They've got Mazama to jump a couple of times, but if you're the Vikings, you got to expect it now.
Absolutely. Johnson alone in the backfield this time. They've got 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 1 receiver in the slot. Oh, and a KU man jumps early. I believe that was. Who did you see that was? Was that?
It's in the slot. Let's see. I believe that was Maruk Morris in the slot. And he jumped that one a little bit too soon. It'll make it 4th and 6.
Brings up 4th and 6.
So now, instead of going for it, Klamath Union going to opt to punt from their own 42-yard line.
A good decision, I'd say. We've got P.J. Safford back there to punt. The ball is snapped, kicked high to the right, and it's fielded by Mahone. Was that a fair catch?
No, I think it dropped in front of him and he took it out of bounds. It was a really good punt by Safford, kicking it towards the sideline, not giving Mahone any chance to return it. He picked it up and he stepped out of bounds about the 24-yard line.
I'm sure that was a relief for the KU special teams out there.
About a 30-yard punt there for Safford, too, through the air. So not bad at all, pinning Mazama back deep into their own territory. Behind the 25, KU's defense going to have to come up with a big stand here. They trail 28-13, 8.5 to go in the third quarter.
And Mahone has been dangerous tonight. He's number 4 on Mazama. He stands at 6 foot, 150 pounds, but he has just been bulldozing the defense all night.
Yeah, he's been able to shake off defenders real easily this evening.
Ball's handed off to Mahone off the right side. He'll be met in the backfield, and he's tackled for a loss.
It's a great tackle there for Klamath Union's number 2, Trayvon Ruano, was able to track down Mahone in the backfield and wrestle him down for a 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11. Nice job there for KU. That was something we talked about during the halftime show, is trying to shore up that tackling, and that time Mahone brought down by the first guy that met him. Klamath Union's going to have to continue that to try to get the Vikings off the field.
Not only was he tackled the first time at the first defender that he met, it was an open field tackle, which we've seen KU struggle with so far this game. Lee in shotgun takes the snap, not a handoff to Mahone. It's a fake. He rolls out to his left, fires over the middle, and it's caught by Max Rogers.
He was open.
That was a really veteran play by the quarterback, Lee, there. From the play action, hiding the ball well, sees a defender in his face, so he pump fakes, shakes the D lineman, and then completes an 11-yard pass. Unfortunately, though, there is a flag on the field, so we'll have to see where this one is going, but point still stands. Real veteran move there by Kellen Lee to complete that pass for a good gain. But
absolutely, and what an asset for Mazama he is. As a sophomore, he's got 2 more years after this making veteran moves like that. That's got to be a relief for Mazama.
Unfortunately, though, for them, it looks like illegal man downfield is the call. So this one going back, it'll be 2nd and 15 for Mazama after that penalty.
Huge break if you're a Pelican. Tough luck if you're Mazama. Lee in the backfield takes the snap. He rolls out to his left looking for a pass. He doesn't take it. No one open. He's tackled, and he gets it away just before he's brought down for another loss.
Yeah, smart decision. He had to just get rid of it that time. Klamath Union's done a nice job of stringing those plays out to the sideline. The reason he wasn't able to find anyone to throw to is because the coverage has been so good for the Pelicans tonight. And another good example of that, forcing what'll be 3rd and about 15 for Mazama. really good coverage for KU forcing that incompletion.
That halftime pep talk from Coach must have been a banger.
They've been playing well on the defensive end deep. It's just been trying to stop that running game. But now that Mazama's behind the sticks, maybe they don't feel as comfortable running the ball. That's something that Klamath Union had to deal with a little bit in that first quarter, was playing behind the sticks due to penalties or, fumble recoveries after a snap.
Absolutely.
But here you go. Now 3rd and 19, actually, for Mazama. They're going back another 5 yards. They're going to snap it from their own 10-yard line. The yard to gain is the 34.
And it was all because of that penalty. If they hadn't had that penalty, they probably would have had a first down, continue their drive.
They would have been about another 30 yards upfield had they avoided that illegal man downfield earlier. But that's how it goes. Sometimes those come back to bite you. Now it's up to Klamath Union to capitalize on that mistake. Try to get the ball back with good field position, down a couple scores. Got to make a stop here, though.
Lee in the backfield. He'll fake it to Mahone. It's a keeper up the middle, and he's brought down at around the 15. That'll make it 4th and about 15. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a punt here.
Yeah, deep in your own territory, you're going to want to unload this one. It was a gain of about 5 yards, still well short of the sticks for Mazama. So,
and that play action that they have with Lee there, it works so well because he's able to make such good reads.
He's able to keep it himself for 5 yards. Not a bad gain if it wasn't 3rd and long. Now they're going to have to give it up. It looks like Tilden Kaufman back to receive for KU.
See, is that Vanerath to kick? Mazama?
See once his number pops up.
That's Barajas. Punt makes it to the 50. It's kicked forward by Mahone, and the ref saw that. That'll be down at around the 48.
A little trickery there. Not going to get away with that one ever, I don't think. But KU will take over 1st and 10. They got it in Mazama territory. They've had success at this part of the field. Both of their touchdown drives were capped off between the 45-yard line markers, right? I mean, they had a 52-yard connection for Saluskin, a 48-yard connection for Saluskin. Well, here they are again, 48 yards out. Klamath Union seemingly comfortable from this position.
Yeah, this in basketball, this is what you say when you say, this is my spot. You know what I'm saying? They're about 48 yards off. Perfect field positioning for KU to make a big play. We've got Johnson. He goes back to pass. Doesn't hit anyone. And that's an incomplete for 2nd and 10.
Intended target curled about 15 yards upfield. Johnson left the pass short again, unfortunately. So, yeah, bringing up 2nd down.
A little bit of miscommunication I saw there.
I believe Morris was the intended target, but, yeah, just ran too far on that route.
And this is what you see with passing teams a lot. They try a pass, incomplete. All they need is one big break if they're throwing deep.
Especially in week 1, too. Everyone's trying to remember their routes, seeing it in live action. It's a totally different field than running it in practice, too. Again, I think as far as the passing game goes, Klamath Union has had the edge on both sides of the football, really. But Mazama able to control possession, control the game clock, and control the football. It's why they're up 2 scores, but Klamath Union driving into Mazama territory, 2nd and 10.
We'll see Reese alone in the backfield again. He motions Saluskin, won't hand it off. It's another screenplay. It's dropped by Cruz. Although, I don't know if that was a bad idea to drop it there because he might have been tackled for a loss on that play.
Yeah, it was a quick wide receiver screen. He would have caught the ball about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and a Mazama defender was close to make the catch. So, yeah, all things told, you're probably not too wrong about that one, Walter. They'll face 3rd and 10 instead of what could have potentially been 3rd and 14 or 15 had that catch been made.
Yeah, so we've seen Mazama so far this game. They've been very run heavy, and then KU, they've been very pass heavy. So it's 28-13. Mazama leads here in the 3rd quarter. Johnson accompanied in the backfield by Cruz. He passes over the middle. That's caught by Saluskin. He'll break a tackle, and then he's met not 1 yard past. So that's going to bring up 4th and about 4, a gain of 6.
Yeah, not a bad route there. Good tackling by Mazama to stop him at the point of receiving that football. Decision time on the KU sideline, though. You got 4th and 4 at the 42 in Mazama territory. To me, this feels like a go-for-it decision when you're down a couple of touchdowns, 6 minutes and counting down here in the third quarter. And it looks like Klamath Union content to go for it here on 4th down. They are 1 for 1 on such attempts so far tonight.
Well, you don't want to give it back to Mazama. You know, they're punishing run game. You kind of want to just take it for yourself and see what your offense can make for you.
Yeah. Well, it's important to come away with points on this possession. The later and later you get, the clock becomes your number one enemy. Not quite there yet, but you could be if you can't convert on this drive. And it looks like Coach Overstreet going to call a timeout before we get there. Score 28-13, 5.5 to go in the third quarter. We're going to step aside along with this timeout. Mazama leads Klamath Union at the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week. Back after this on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
All right, so back in the third quarter, it's 28-13. Mazama leads. We saw KU take a timeout there, try to get the first down on the 4th.
Yeah, I want to make sure you get this one right on 4th down and 4. Big play coming up, down a couple scores. They're in Mazama territory. This is one of those plays you look back on after the game is over and say, well, this might have been the one that helped decide it.
All right, we've got a bunched right side with 3 receivers. He'll tip it to Cruz. He'll bring it up the sideline, but he won't get the first down.
Yeah, trying to rely on Cruz, getting around the corner, trying to go for the marker, but he winds up about a yard short. Not a bad idea for Klamath Union. Try to get your speed out into some space, but Mazama was there to meet him. They'll take it over 1st and 10 on their own 40. Big time stop for the Mazama defense.
So it's 28-13. We've got 5:22 left on the clock in the third quarter. Mazama with about 60 yards to go for the touchdown. We've got Lee. He pitches it back to Mahone. He's trying to find the outside corner, and he will. He's got room to run, and he steps out of bounds at around the 42-yard line. Enough for the first down for sure.
That was a good carry by Mahone, but what really made that play was Idrogo's block on the corner. Anthony Idrogo, 5'9" senior. He made a really great lead block, allowing Mahone to get around him and curl up field for a solid gain. Now into Klamath Union territory, like you said, at about the 43-yard line.
That'll bring a tear to any coach's eye right there.
Great block.
Teammates supporting teammates. That's great teamwork right there. That's what wins ball games. All right, we got Lee in the backfield. Hands off to Mahone again up the middle. He breaks 2 tackles, and he's finally brought down at around the 35-yard line. That's about 2 yards short of the first down and brings up 2nd down.
He's great at just staying on his feet.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got guys draped all over him, and he just keeps moving. They made contact with him, and then he still drags guys for about another 4 yards on that carry. He's just been running real well tonight.
It's something that we see from the greats. A great skill that they have is balance.
Yeah.
That's one of the key points of being a running back. Lee in shotgun hands it off to Mahone again. He'll try to get upfield, but he's just met by the whole KU team at around the 35. Still 2 yards short of the first down. Bring up 3rd and 2.
I think that was Ibarra making the first initial contact. Joseph Ibarra, senior, 5'11" for Klamath Union, number 55 down there. He's the last guy to come up out of the dog pile as he stood up Mahone and created that stop. Now it's 3rd and short for Mazama, and it looks like Ibarra might be a little bit banged up on the field down there.
And now when you say dog pile, that's exactly what I envisioned. All of 11 guys on top of him, you know.
That's about what it looked like down there. That's to be sure.
And that's what it takes to stop Mahone.
At this game, you're absolutely right. And, you know, for Mazama's credit, they've been very blessed in finding what apparently has been back-to-back very good running backs. I mean, Mahone, he's a junior, stands 6 foot tall, but he's coming off of a season where he played behind Chris Baldwin for Mazama, and Baldwin had a fantastic season last year, rushed for nearly 1,200 yards, averaged over 170 yards per game.
Wow.
He had 12 touchdowns last year, was an all-league recipient at the running back position. And so you lose him. He's a senior last year, and now you're wondering, well, what's next for Mazama? Well, here comes Brody Mahone. Only carried the ball 13 times last season. He's probably carried the ball more than that tonight. He had 57 yards last season. He certainly surpassed that tonight. I mean, he is having a real breakout game tonight in front of his fellow students and the home crowd here at Mazama High School.
And that speaks to Mazama's development.
Certainly
right?
so.
You've got back-to-back just good running backs. And that's been the foundation of their whole program for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
They got great weight room. You know, you got a great strength program, which sets up opportunities for linemen and running backs like that, so they can just power their way through your defense. It's the most reliable form of offense. All right, Lee takes the snap, hands it off to, that was Jaden Justice. Brought it about 4 yards upfield and gets the first down.
15th first down for Mazama tonight. That makes them 2 for 7 on third down conversion attempts. They only needed a short gain there, and they got it. And so they'll have it 1st and 10 from about the 32.
Mazama in shotgun formation. One receiver to the left, 2 to the right. And Lee will hand it off again to Justice, who powers his way to the 30-yard line, picking up about 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Talk about Mazama's running backs again. You've got these 2 guys back there who've been the bulk of the load tonight. Mahone, who we've talked at length about, but then you've got Jaden Justice, who runs a very different style than Mahone.
More of a fullback, I'd say.
Yeah, Mahone likes to stick around behind the line of scrimmage a little bit, wait for a hole to open up and blow through it. Jaden Justice is coming at you. He's lowering the shoulder pads, and he's going to run through you. And gives you a little bit of a different look out of the backfield for the Vikings.
Yeah, he's definitely a truck out there. I'll say that. Lee hands it off, doesn't hand it off, fakes the handoff, floats it out to his receiver on the left side there. Intended target was Reeson McDonald, and it's just tipped.
Hit his hands, was unable to bring it in. So after that incompletion intended for McDonald, brings up 3rd and 7 for Mazama. Again, already a 1 third down conversion on this drive. Looking to do it again here in Klamath Union territory at the 30.
I mean, when you watch college ball, you watch NFL, they really have 3 downs and a punt, right? They really only have 3 usable downs. Mazama makes use of all 4 downs that I've seen so far.
Certainly so.
Lee rolls out to the left. He's looking for his receiver. He'll throw across his body before he's blasted by KU, and the pass is incomplete.
It's great pressure by Devin Weiser there, the junior, 5'11" for Klamath Union. Came up, was looking to get a sack. He certainly laid a pretty solid hit on Kellen Lee, but Lee was able to get rid of the football just before taking contact. It was an incomplete pass. But now, Walter, just like you said, Mazama has got 4th down. They've got 4th down and 7. They're at the Klamath Union 30. This is go-for-it territory for Mazama.
Absolutely, especially up 28-13, trying to get another score, ice the game. Yeah, so far. What do you predict out of this play?
Well, hard to say. I mean, you're probably looking at a pass here. It looks like it's play action.
Fake handoff. He goes deep. It's dropped. And that's a turnover. KU will come up with the ball.
Great coverage downfield for Klamath Union's number 20. That's Griffin Johnson, the senior, draped all over the intended target. McDonald had no chance of bringing that one in, and a turnover on downs gives Klamath Union back the football.
Yeah, so incredible coverage by KU as we saw, and I would imagine as a mainly passing team in offense, they play against their practice defense. I would imagine that their pass defense gets most of the reps in defense as well. That's why they're so good at the pass game.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So now another opportunity for Klamath Union. It's third quarter, about 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Mazama leads 28-13, but KU with the ball.
KU, shotgun formation. They've got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Johnson alone in the backfield, classic KU formation. They'll throw it out to the right, looking for the screen, and they won't find it. Was that a late hit, did you see, or just a hustle play?
There is a flag out there in front of the KU bench. That might be a late hit. I think that was Mahone came in, put that late hit on the receiver after the ball was already past him. You could see this one. Personal foul. And that's against the Vikings. Yeah, there you go. Good sight there, Walter. That's certainly a late hit. And Klamath Union getting a gift out of that one.
Well, it certainly didn't look like he was playing the ball. It looked like he was playing the man.
Yeah, it was, and the ball had well passed as that contact was made as well. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. And Klamath Union will have it 1st and 10. Still in their own territory at the 45-yard line.
Now, KU, they really rely on these big plays in these situations. I think if they can get a couple connections started, they could have a big play.
Yeah, just got to kind of lull the defense to sleep a little bit, but Mazama's defense is not going to be the easy target. Klamath Union's going to have to get creative here, 1st and 10.
Handoff to Cruz. He'll go up the left side. He breaks a tackle. He's still going, and he's taken down at the 49-yard line. Oh, and he spikes the ball. That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, 2 late flags along the near side. It's just an unnecessary error there for Klamath Union after the spike. It was a good carry by Cruz, but looks like he might have gotten a little carried away after that carry.
If I ever did that growing up,
yeah. Don't have to say much more than that. I know where that's going.
Suicides. Let's see.
Yeah.
Indian run. Let's see.
Yeah. Run the snake. That's what we used to do. We used to go across the whole field every 5 yards, run laterally. That was a terrible day of practice.
I mean, it's not football practice at that point. It's track practice.
That's basically it.
Might as well just go join the cross-country team. Throw on some pads while you're at it.
Yeah, this is a big penalty for KU here. They're losing a lot of field position. It'll be 2nd and about 21 on this next one.
And that play started out so well.
It did.
21.
Those unforced errors, but now Klamath Union going to have to grit their teeth, try to band together and get that yardage back. It's still only 2nd down. They've got some room to play with.
This game so far, KU, we've seen they're playing kind of how we saw the Bears play against Cal the other weekend.
A lot of passing. Yeah, you're talking about the Oregon State game.
Yes.
We were both up at that game. It was a lot of fun except for the final result.
Johnson goes back to pass. He'll find a little wheel route out to Kaufman, I believe. He's met by 2 guys struggling to get yardage, and he's brought down at around the 42.
Still a good gain of about 8 yards on the catch there for Kaufman. Had to get through 2 defenders to get that far, and it brings up 3rd and about 13 for Klamath Union. Looking for a similar connection here. Yard to gain is the 45 on the other side of midfield.
Yeah, this game is just so fun. You've got that juxtaposition between, blue and red, passing and running, power and finesse.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good point. These 2 teams have kind of in a state of flux these last 2 seasons, both with new head coaches, losing long-standing head coaches before that. You talk about Tom Smith at Klamath Union, Vic Lease here at Mazama. Both teams trying to find and plant a new identity. It could start here with a big Canal Bowl statement win for one of these squads.
All right, we've got a little pitch action. Out to Kaufman again. He goes up the left side. He's looking for yards. And it looks like he'll pick up the 1st down.
That was a fantastic play call there for Klamath Union. Direct snap to Reese Johnson. Gives it to his back, who then hands it off to Kaufman coming the other way. Double handoff, misdirection, and a gain of about 16 yards on the carry. Klamath Union gets the 1st down now into Mazama territory at the 43. That was a great play call up against it. They were probably saving that one for a situation like this, and it worked out well for KU.
Absolutely. That little reverse play, it really got Mazama to bite. and it was ran well. So I would see how it would get a lot of teams to bite.
Yeah, well, certainly so. It worked out well for KU there, needing to convert on third down. They do so. Now they've got it 1st and 10.
I've been enjoying the trick plays so far this game.
Always fun to see week 1.
Reese Johnson alone in the backfield sends a man in motion, little wheel route out to Saluskin, and that's going to be tipped off of his hands and not caught.
Yeah, that was actually Ruano, the intended target on that play, and they've tried to run that little swing route with the running back a few times tonight, but they just haven't been able to make that connection as often as they would have liked. It was there again for Ruano. Don't be shocked if they keep trying it until it works, because when it does, well, it's going to be dangerous. And it looks like we saw a flag on the far sideline. Klamath Union having to go back another 5 yards after that play. Didn't quite see what the official signal was, but it'll be 1st and 15 here for Klamath Union. Under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Might only see 1 or 2 more plays. A score of 28-13 where Mazama leads.
You know, most athletes, when they're interviewed, they'll talk about the first opponent is themselves. Yeah. And that's something that KU is seeing this game tonight. They're trying to battle their own mistakes, trying to get their act together game 1. As we've said before, teams game 1, they're just looking to pull it together, especially on offense. You've got a lot of more moving parts than defense. So cut them some slack. They'll be back next week. Johnson back to pass. They try that same play they've been moving the ball with.
Yeah, it was that little screen play with the lineman moving up. That time the intended target was Tilden Kaufman, but hit him in the palm, and a little bit too much mustard on that pass, I think, from Johnson for such a short route. Hard for Kaufman to bring in, so now it'll be 2nd and 15. And you make a good point about having to kind of play yourself the first week a little bit. I mean, you're playing yourself in practice for the whole offseason. I mean, literally, now you finally get an opponent out in front of you week 1. You'd like to think you won't make any mistakes, but inevitably, it's week 1 you do. It's some adversity that you've got to overcome early in the season. And for Klamath Union's part, it hasn't rattled them, I don't think. They still look confident. They're making good, bold play calls, but it's unfortunately still hurt them tonight.
It takes a while for a team to really get into midseason form. You know, that's why they call it midseason form.
That's very true.
Johnson in the backfield, accompanied by Cruz. He'll toss it out, a little screen play, and that's dropped. Again, not able to make these catches, haul these passes in. Saluskin was the intended target on that play. And it's not any one receiver. I think it's mainly just repetitions.
Yeah, that was a case of maybe being too wide open. I think he might have heard Jaden Justice was running up close to him, hearing those footsteps, and you take your eye off the ball for just 1 second, and unfortunately, that's what happens. But you know, people always say the ball hits your hands that you ought to catch it. Those are the people who have not been hit while trying to catch a football. I'm sorry. You got a guy like Jaden Justice running after you. It's certainly not an excuse, but it is a reason. You hear those footsteps. It's hard to catch that football.
I was just going to say that. Any man would be rattled trying to see Jaden Justice come after you when you're jumping up for a ball. Johnson, alone in the backfield, makes his reads, hitches. Ball is up and away, and it's overthrown. The intended target on that play was Kaufman. And they were just not able to make that connection happen.
Classic 4 verts on that one. Everyone run as hard and as fast as you can straight away. Kaufman had some space to himself, but unfortunately for Johnson, just overshot his man down there. Now they face 4th and 15.
They call that
14 seconds to go in the third quarter. It looks like Klamath Union might elect to punt here.
They call that one the old Hail Mary.
Yeah, at that point, 3rd down and long, trying to make something happen, but
they're up a prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. PJ Safford back to punt for KU. Ball is snapped. It's snapped high. He fumbles with it, goes to kick it. It's very low. Didn't have enough time to get that one off, really. It still makes his way down the field to around the 28-yard line. Not a bad play for KU.
Not at all. All things considered, not bad at all. It was a tough snap. Safford wasn't able to bring it in, but he stayed composed, was able to get something of a kickoff. Was more of a line drive that still rattled upfield for about 30 yards. And Mazama will take it over 1st and 10 from their own 25.
Yeah, PJ Safford, he's got a boot on him, doesn't he?
He certainly does. His dad was a college kicker as well, so he's got it in the genes.
Oh, we've got Mahone. Breaks about 5 tackles. Guys are jumping all over him.
Pelican came out of the pile with a football. I don't know if we're going to see it. There's a flag. Looks like maybe against Klamath Union. Not entirely sure what this could be. Pelicans think that they came away with the football. Here's what we do know is that we'll sort it out when we come back. That's the end of the third quarter. 28-13 the score. Mazama leads Klamath Union at the 47th annual Canal Bowl on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and on mybasin.com. We'll be back in just a moment.
At GINO'S on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food.
For your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at iloveginos.com. GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Welcome back to the highly anticipated Canal Bowl between the KU Pelicans and the Mazama Vikings. The Vikings lead 28-13 coming into the fourth quarter. We just saw a flag on the play. What did you make of it, Josh?
It was an illegal substitution at the end of the third quarter, it seems. I thought it might have been something more than that, considering Klamath Union was thinking they had a fumble at the end of the last play. They might have gotten a little bit chirpy, but I guess after all was said and done, it's just an illegal substitution, so Mazama will get some extra yardage out of it. They'll have 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line as we start the fourth quarter.
Not bad field position.
Not at all. They've started with far worse and scored a ton of points out of this field position, now gifted with fairly decent starting position.
Ball handed off to Mahone, going up the middle. He picks up about 4 yards and is brought down at around the 48-yard line.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
Well, I guess that was the end of the third quarter. Suppose we had one more play. Well, we'll stick around here during our quarter break. The officials don't have to move the football that far, just across the 50. Again, 28-13 our score tonight as we take a look at the Elevate Physical Therapy Fitness and Performance Scoreboard. Elevate uses a modern and research-backed approach to physical therapy, and they want to make sure that you are operating at peak performance of optimal health and wellness. Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance has been treating athletes of all ages since 2020. Want to give a big shout out to Jason Taylor, the leader of Elevate Physical Therapy, for coming on board for this season of high school football. Also, stick around with us after the game tonight as we pick our Pacific Power Play of the Day. The mission of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to various nonprofit organizations in the Pacific Northwest. Big thanks to the Pacific Power Foundation for coming aboard this season for high school football and supporting all of our local happenings here in the Klamath Basin. I know most recently they've made donations to the Klamath County Rotary Club, the Oregon Tech Foundation, as well as the Ross Ragland Theater, always giving back to our local community. So as we get ready for the fourth quarter, it'll be second and about 7 for Mazama as they head back out onto the field. KU still in the huddle. Fourth quarter, 28-13. KU is going to have to get off the field in a hurry here.
Yeah, we saw a big improvement from KU defense after halftime. They held Mazama scoreless so far. Now we're kind of waiting for the KU offense to pick up the slack a little bit. They've had a couple great plays, just not able to make anything ultimately take it to the house.
Yeah.
Lee rolls out, throws down, to the intended target was Barajas, but it was broken up by KU, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, just a little underneath route in the flat there, intended for Barajas, but a good defense being played there. Gavin Coe, the defensive back, was there to make the stop had the pass been caught. But again, it's one of those situations where you hear his footsteps coming up behind you, hard to bring in that pass. And so Mazama now faces 3rd and 7.
We've got Mazama lined up in a shotgun formation. Lee sends a guy in motion, takes the snap, hands it off. That's brought up to the 45, excuse me. And did you see a first down on that play?
Well, it's close. It's right at the marker. Haven't seen the official signal yet.
And that was Warner with the carry. And we saw a huge block from Mahone also on that play.
Yeah, nice to get a lead block from your running back on that carry. They're going to say that Mazama got the first down on that carry. Nice run there by Warner to earn his team 1st and 10. Now in KU territory at the 46.
Mazama again in shotgun formation. Getting the play from Coach there. I wouldn't be surprised if they run it again.
I mean, they've run the ball real well tonight. It's been a part of the game plan here at Mazama for 2 decades.
Ball snapped. Lee back to throw, floats it up. It's caught. That's McDonald with the catch and the touchdown.
Wow, what a pass there from Lee. Floated it perfectly into the bucket for McDonald. Over double coverage, McDonald had nothing but daylight in front of him, taking it to the house. A 46-yard touchdown catch for McDonald, and that is his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. Mazama leads 34-13.
Yeah, that's a beautiful throw. We see that nice tight spiral floating up in the air, allowing your receiver to just get underneath that, right in the breadbasket. We've seen that throw a couple times from him, but this one was right on the money and exactly what they needed to ice the game.
Yeah, that was a big-time score. Now they're going to try to go for 2.
Lee in shotgun. He'll fake the handoff, go up the middle, try to do it himself, and it looks like he stops short of the 2-point conversion.
34-13 our score right now. 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Mazama leads Klamath Union at the Canal Bowl. Pelicans a chance when we come back. This is the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 at 1150 KAGO and on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Just keep it even.
Welcome back. We just saw Mazama score off of an incredible passing play. What was that, 42 yards?
It's 46 yards. Took him 4 plays and a drive lasting only about a minute off the game clock for Mazama as they punch it in to kick off the 4th quarter. 34-13 the score. Yeah, 46-yard touchdown catch for McDonald. His 2nd touchdown catch of the night and of the season. And that is the 3rd overall touchdown of the night, passing or rushing for Kellen Lee this evening. He has had a great first game as the varsity starter at Mazama.
And that's exactly what you want to do if you're Mazama. You just want to keep adding to the score, make sure it's harder for them to come back, although KU still has a chance in this game with their high-powered pass offense.
Yeah, they can get a big chunk of yards in a hurry, and as this kickoff goes, we've got a flag by the far judge and I suppose the near umpire as well, so we have probably going to see offsides against Mazama. They might have to kick this one from a little further back.
Now, if you're going to get a penalty, if it's on a kicking play, that's not the worst play to get a penalty on.
You know, I've always found it interesting, you know, at different levels of football, who this penalty on a kickoff actually benefits. Because here in high school, I think it's obvious it's the receiving team, right? You know, you're not going to kick a whole lot of touchbacks, gives the receiving team starting field position. But in the higher leagues, college and NFL, those kickers can give you a safety anyway. It's kind of strange because they're going to be able to kick it all the way back there anyway. It almost is a moot point in the higher levels, but here in high school, it certainly matters a lot.
Ball is down and in the dirt. It goes out of bounds at around the 38-yard line. There's a flag on the play.
That's for kicking the ball out of bounds. The Klamath Union's going to get pretty good starting field position here after Mazama kicks it out of bounds around the 40. They need it. The Klamath Union going to try to score quickly. You know, Walter, the game's certainly not over yet. We know how fast Klamath Union can score. Now, the scoring drives have been few and far in between, but you look at their scoring drives, 5 plays, 1 minute, 4 plays, 20 seconds. And so we know that they can score in a hurry when they need to, and they certainly need to with their backs up against the wall as we kick off this fourth quarter. Only a minute gone in the fourth quarter. Klamath Union looks like they're going to take it from their own 43-yard line.
Well, if there's someone I can trust to get me a big play, it's Reese Johnson. The 6'4", junior. He had a lot of experience last year. He threw for a lot last year. He's got that leadership ability. Here we go. Throws it out. Screen play to Kaufman. He cuts it up the field. He got 10, 15. And he'll end the play at around the 40, stepping out of bounds with 15 yards after the catch.
Yeah, that was a great catch by Tilden Kaufman. Nice job staying on his feet, dancing along the far sideline. Had defenders all over him, behind him. But Kaufman all night has been really comfortable operating on the sidelines. We've seen it on the near side real clearly where he's able to move around defenders, get by guys without them touching him, and that time was able to do it on the far sideline. Like you said, Walter, 15 yards after the catch. Klamath Union gets a first down, and they've got it now in Mazama territory at the 40.
Johnson, accompanied in the backfield, he'll send a man in motion. That's Kaufman in motion. The ball is snapped. The same play on the other side this time. He finds space around the corner. He's at the 10, the 5, and he'll bring it in for the touchdown. That was Nolan Baker with the catch and run for the touchdown.
Yeah, great scoring play there. The touchdown is good. It is 34-19 now. Mazama still leads. But they had Kaufman come in motion to the near side. He cut up field, and he was used entirely as a blocker. That play was designed for Nolan Baker to take it to the house. He did exactly that, using his lead blocks again from Kaufman and others in for a 40-yard touchdown catch. And, well, there you go, Walter. How about another example of quick scoring? 2 plays and 20 seconds for Klamath Union. They come away with 6, and they're going to try to make it 7 on an extra point.
Wow. Well, that's something about KU, you know, you can get up big on them, but you never know if they're going to be able to score or not on you. They're powerful.
Yeah, they can score quick, as we've seen and said. Those long passing plays, that's a 40-yard touchdown pass. You know, they've had 48 and 52 yards the other 2 times. So Johnson has done a good job tonight of airing it out. Last year in this game, he had 4 touchdown passes, closing in on that number, and it looks like Klamath Union going to go for 2 here.
Johnson accompanied by Cruz in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Cruz, goes up the middle, gets hit by 2 guys, stays alive, and is eventually brought down at around the 2-yard line, short of the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he got hit about the 3, tried to keep it moving, but was brought down by a whole host of Vikings short of the goal line. So our score remains 34-19, 10:41 to go in the ball game. Mazama leads Klamath Union at the Canal Bowl. We're going to take our final timeout of regulation, and we'll be back with more of the fourth quarter next on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Canal Bowl. The Mazama Vikings lead the KU Pelicans 34-19. And we just saw last drive, we saw the Pelicans score 48-yard drive in 2 plays?
Yeah. You're exactly right. Yeah, it was very quick striking for Klamath Union. Walter, just want to butt in real quick. We got a final score from one of our other Klamath Basin teams. The Lost River Raiders starting the season out with a victory against Colton. The Raiders won tonight 41-20, getting the season started off right.
Wow. And a little squib kick trying to go for the onside. It's recovered by Mazama. There's a whole dog pile around the ball there. And Mazama will start with a great field position at around the 42-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was Johnny Ladner who fell on that football, like you said, around the 42. Klamath Union trying to go for the onside kick. Obviously, you're getting a little bit desperate down here near the end of the fourth quarter, down by multiple touchdowns. And not surprising that they go for the onside kick there, but doesn't pay off. Mazama takes it over 1st and 10.
Now, for Mazama, what they've got to do, they've got to keep it on the ground, keep it running, and try to burn the clock. Because as we've said, that KU can score in a hurry if they need to. Lee in the backfield, he'll hand it off to Mahone, gets the outside edge, and brings it up to around the 48-yard line.
Mahone and a gain of 12. I mean, it's just been so consistent tonight on these first down carries. And that time, more than showing off his patience, showed off his speed. He was able to beat a couple of guys off the edge there to get first down yardage as the Vikings cross over midfield, now at the Klamath Union 47.
Absolutely. What can you do against him? He's fast, he's strong, and that's exactly what makes a good football player.
Someone's going to have to figure it out later on this season if they want to stop Mazama.
Absolutely. Lee, he'll hand that one off to Barajas, who takes it up the right side of the field to the sideline. He's tackled out of bounds after a gain of about 16 yards.
Another good carry by Barajas, this time to the opposite side of the field. Getting the Pelicans to go both ways. Now the Vikings, after back-to-back first down runs, can go just about anywhere. Now deep into KU territory as well. They're knocking on the door of adding some more points to this lead. Got 17 first downs tonight.
For Mazama?
Yes, sir.
How many for KU?
KU is at 9 first downs tonight.
Okay, almost double digits. Lee in shotgun hands it off to Justice, who goes straight up the middle, trucking a guy, and he's down just short of the first down marker.
Yeah, man, he just runs downhill right after you. It looked like he was looking for contact on that run. I think if he went right, he probably could have found some open field, but he went left right after whoever that linebacker was for KU. I couldn't quite catch the number. But he sought out that contact, and he got down for it. 1st and 10, Mazama.
That's kind of scary, the way that we saw it, how quickly he accelerated at that size. I don't want to be in front of that. Let me just say that.
Me neither.
Lee in shotgun. Snap is away. He rolls out to the left. He'll fire off Barajas, the intended receiver on that play. And it just gets tipped out of bounds.
Defensive end Christian Day there for Klamath Union, making a solid play. The senior standing 5'8". He read that play action really well. Saw that Lee held on to the football after the fake handoff and was able to track down Lee, force him into a bad throw, forcing 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do against a team like Mazama, especially with how run-heavy they are. You're not expecting a pass, especially when they're up like this, almost in the red zone.
Yeah, and like we've said multiple times tonight, Lee does a good job of hiding the football. Doesn't let you in on whether or not it's a play-action pass or an option keeper or what it might be, but a good job there by Day to sniff it out.
Motion for Mazama. That's number 14, Warner, with the carry. He'll bring it up, try to go up the sideline, doesn't quite round the corner, and he'll lose yards on that play.
Yeah, looks like he goes backwards 2 yards. Good protection by Klamath Union. Again, doing what they've done when Lee rolls out of the pocket. They just string the play over to the sideline and are able to push him out of bounds, more or less. And a nice job there for Klamath Union, not letting any positive yardage come out. Mazama will have it now 3rd and 12. It looks like Klamath Union He's got a player down there on the field. So we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back in time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service were everything. You check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. Walter, why don't you remind our folks of some of our other sponsors here tonight?
Okay. Pacific Power. They sponsor our play of the game. They're huge supporters of the Klamath Basin. They donated $13 million to nonprofit organizations. The mission of Pacific Power Foundation is to support growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, as I've said, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. And it looks like he's brought off the field. As we were saying last time, before this happened, Mazama has great play calls.
Yeah.
They've been able to keep it varied. You know, throw a pass when they're not expecting it. Run, lull them to sleep until you need to throw a pass.
We're talking about head coach Orland Culp, experienced 20-plus years as a varsity head coach in California for a number of years down at Wairika. Came and coached under Vic Lease for a couple of seasons before taking the reins of the Mazama program. He's certainly experienced, and the Vikings are certainly lucky to have a coach like him.
Absolutely. He took over Mazama football and kept it Mazama football. Lee looking to pass. He will dump it off to Warner, and he'll make his way up the sideline. Is pushed out at around the 6-yard line.
Mazama taking a little something from Klamath Union's book. It felt like on that one they sent all their receivers out really deep, and then there was Warner just kind of sneaking past the line of scrimmage, floated out there in the flat, and they found him for a good gain. But Mazama wide receiver is doing a good job of trying to bring the secondary for Klamath Union in deep before they just dump it underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've said again, you got to keep the play calls varied. It's just like in any other sport. You got to keep them guessing. So you lull them to sleep with a run, throw a pass, not expecting it, throw another pass.
Now they've got it 1st and goal from the 8.
Again, there's 8:53 left in the fourth quarter, excuse me. What did we see on that play, Josh?
That was a attempted to pitch it. Lee attempted to pitch it. I couldn't quite see if it was Mahone or Barajas who was intended to receive that pitch, but just an errant pitch, and so Lee had to fall on the football. It was a fumble, and Mazama goes backwards. They've still got 2nd and goal, but now from the 17.
Okay. Let's see. They're in shotgun. They've got Justice in the backfield now with Lee. They've got 2 receivers going out. They've got a tight end, and they'll look to pass again. Lee will keep it for himself, trying to cut up, get some yardage, and he'll be brought down at around the 10, making it 3rd and goal with 10 yards to go.
Solid carry on that one by Lee on the keeper. We see he does a good job of hiding the ball, not necessarily play action. I don't know if it was necessarily an option either. It looked like it might have been designed for him to keep that one. And solid gain, but Klamath Union stopping him short of the goal line. 3rd and goal from the 10. Certainly 4-down territory for Mazama. They're also letting the clock drain away. 7:40 and continuing to count down for the Vikings as they look to shore up a Week 1 win. A Pelican player is down out there, and they're going to have to bring in another replacement. Don't want to speculate as to who or what that may be, but again, it's this Week 1, guys start to cramp up a little bit. You're playing your first contact. It sometimes tends to happen.
You're playing Mazama, no less.
Yeah, they certainly hit hard, too.
Yeah, the weight room, as we've mentioned, has been just fundamental in their program.
You make an interesting point, though. You said it earlier, Coach Culp keeping Mazama like Mazama. I don't know how much of Vic Lease Mazama you watched back in the day, Walter, but a very run-heavy team. Mm-hmm. And Coach Culp has continued that tradition to the fullest extent here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Lee will hand that off to Mahone. Looking for room. He'll go through 2 guys, eventually brought down at around the 9-yard line.
I think that was Ruano in on the tackle there for Klamath Union. Did a good job of breaking down for the open field tackle. And Mahone, who has typically tried to bounce around those open field tacklers tonight, went right after Ruano, tried to go through him. But Ruano stood him up, knocked him down, and now it's 4th and goal from the 10. Big opportunity for Klamath Union's defense to try and get off the field with plenty of game time remaining, down by multiple touchdowns, 34-19.
Josh, did you ever play football when you were younger?
Played for a couple of years when I was in high school, but I more so watched from the sidelines. I was scout team. I didn't really play too much in the games.
Do you remember the drill Oklahoma?
Oh, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's exactly what that drill is for, that open field tackle right there.
That's just the truth.
Go through them.
It looks like we've got a timeout called. We're going to stick with you through this timeout. 6:44 to go in the ball game. 34-19. Mazama leads Klamath Union. Stick around during our post-game show tonight. You're going to hear what our Pacific Power play of the game was. We're also going to take a look ahead at the schedule for our GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week schedule coming up for the rest of the football season. Of course, our flagship team is the Hanley Hornets. We should be getting out there for their first game of the season next week. And just good to be back out here calling the football games. It's been a long baseball season for us on my basin, so nice to switch things up and see a little bit of something new. I love being back here for football.
Absolutely. I mean, baseball is America's pastime, but football to me is a little bit more entertaining. There's a little bit more action going on.
Well, there's a reason why it's certainly more popular nowadays. Sure, there's lots of reasons for that we could get into on a different time at a different place. But, yeah, you're certainly right. Football is king. You play fantasy football, Walter?
I have played fantasy football.
Not this year, though, huh?
Not this year. I don't know many guys this year.
Oh, that's all right. I got Caitlin, our camera woman, my fiance, to play fantasy football with us this year, so that's exciting. You know, she's never played football. She doesn't know football. She doesn't know fantasy, and she drafted what might be the best team in our league.
That's exactly what happens. I played with my sister one time. She picked based off of how their last name sounded.
Yep. That's exactly
She won the league.
All right, here we go. 4th and 10. Mazama's got it.
Lee rolls out to the left side to pass. He'll throw, and it's out of bounds. A little bit overthrown.
Didn't really have anywhere to go with that ball. Good coverage downfield by the defensive back there for Klamath Union. And they get a turnover on downs. The Pelicans will take it over 1st and 10 on their own 10 with 6:38 to go in the ball game. They're down 34-19. Certainly not over yet. This is a 2-touchdown game if you're able to convert on your 2-point conversions for Klamath Union. But first, you got to punch it in for 6.
Not the best field positioning, I will say. However, they have a lot of room to work with here between where they are and the end zone.
Certainly one way to look at it, but I think Klamath Union, they feel confident throwing the ball. I don't think they care if they start at the 10 or the 50 or the other 10.
Absolutely.
They're probably going to look to throw this football around a little bit on these last couple possessions. They've got to.
If you have a fast guy, it's actually a little bit of an advantage to have a little bit of field left for your guy to get past the defense.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, if you get too crunched up, defense could just camp in their end zone and doesn't give you an opportunity to try to find your guy. But, yeah, if you can extend the field and you've got those athletes, which if you can get open downfield, there's a pretty darn good chance that Reese Johnson can find you down there with how his arm strength has been.
Absolutely.
Just a matter of actually hitting those guys downfield. I mean, look, you're down 2 touchdowns, second half of the 4th quarter. Not out of it, but it needs to happen on this drive for Klamath Union, or you just might be. These Pelicans are looking for their first Canal Bowl win since 2013. And, well, for the Vikings, I had them down in the studio earlier this week for our weekly show, Ball Into the Basin, which airs at 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights on 104.3 and 960 Sports. I was talking with Jaden Justice, and he was telling me that they're aware of the streak, and they want to keep it going. He was saying, my granddad played in this game. My dad played in this game.
Wow.
And they were both beat by Klamath Union when they played this game.
Legacy football
and
player.
So he wants to be the guy to continue the streak and beat Klamath Union. It runs deep in this community with these families and these schools. It really, it is your granddad and your dad who played in these games. And for Jaden Justice, he's done well tonight in trying to ensure a Mazama victory, but he's still got to finish out the last 6:38 with his squad. Klamath Union has the football 1st and 10 at their own 10.
All right. KU in shotgun formation. We've got Johnson alone in the backfield, back to pass over the top, and is just overthrown. The intended receiver on that play was Kaufman. And, you talk about a big connection between a quarterback and, favorite receiver.
Yeah.
So, you got Joe Burrow. You've got, who's that?
Yeah,
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, yeah.
We've got Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
There you go.
We've got Reese Johnson and Tilden Kaufman. And Tilden Kaufman actually used to be a quarterback.
Yeah, he played a little JV quarterback from what I recall. And
I lost my starting spot to him.
Well, I suppose there's no shame in that after all. But he's a great athlete. I mean, not only just on the football field, but he's a pretty darn good basketball player as well. His dad's the track and field coach, participates in that down at Klamath Union. Very good athlete. No shame in that, Walter. Didn't take your spot on the tennis court, though. I know that much.
I don't think anyone wants to take the third seed. Johnson, back to pass. He's got a little screen action on the left side. They'll bring it up the sideline, and they'll pick up the first down and more.
What a 29-yard catch going down the sideline that time for Klamath Union's Gavin Coe. Did a great job receiving that football and bringing it upfield, giving his guys some space, too, up to the 30, 1st and 10 for the Pelicans.
So, yeah, like we were talking earlier, KU, they can score in a hurry if they need to, and that's what they're looking to do again.
Big chunks of yardage is what they're looking for here. You don't have to score on this play, but you certainly got to go forward. Cannot afford to go backwards anymore for Klamath Union. We saw that earlier in the game. Penalties, couple sacks. They've quelled that troubled waters a little bit, but now it's do or die time for the Pelicans on this drive.
And in sports, we talk about chipping away at the lead. You don't necessarily need to make a crazy play happen. Just chip away at it. And that's exactly what KU is looking to do here before time runs out. Johnson alone sends a man in motion. The snap is fumbled. He has to fall on it. And that's going to be a loss of yards for KU.
Yeah, I think that play was a little bit broken from the start. Johnson lined up in the gun. He was all alone. He called for a receiver in motion. Two guys went to go into motion. He had to stop the play, restart it, and then the snap was a fumbled snap. That was sort of doomed from the start for Klamath Union, unfortunately. So now they face second and very long.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Cruz in motion that play. And then the other receiver, I believe it was Saluskin. A little bit of miscommunication there from KU. But now they have to make up this yardage. Pelicans in shotgun. Johnson back to throw. It's a little screen pass. It's bobbled, and it's dropped. That was Nolan Baker with the almost catch.
Had it, bobbled it a little bit. Almost brought it in again, but just fell to the turf. And now again, 3rd and long for Klamath Union. Curious to see if Klamath Union tries to get all this yardage here on this 3rd down, or, well, you're down 15 points, under 5 minutes to go. I mean, this is almost certainly 4-down territory for Klamath Union. You can't afford to give the football back. So, do you try to get all 15 here, or 17 yards, whatever this difference is? Looks like to be about 17 yards.
If I'm KU, I do.
Yeah, or, I mean, you could also try to get 8 or 9 or 10 and then try to go for it again on 4th, too. So we'll see what kind of play they draw up here for 3rd and long.
Let's see. We've got 3 men on the right side of the field. We've got Cruz in the backfield and 1 receiver out wide to the left. Cruz in motion, little wheel route. Johnson will opt to keep it for himself. He goes up the left side. He's got room. He ends up getting about 10 or 11 yards on that play, and it's 4th and short.
Hey, you often see a quarterback take a snap, look for his read, and if he doesn't see somebody, that's when he'll tuck it and run. I think Johnson knew from that snap that he was going to take it and run for himself. It's kind of been there for him all game when they've got that one receiver lined up whichever side he's on and only one defender over there. Reese is quick. He can get out in open space and make something happen for himself, and he certainly did on that play. Although he was short of the sticks, it brings up 4th and 4. So it was about a 12-yard carry for Johnson on that keeper. Certainly a good gain, but now you got 4th down. Gotta get this yardage here, 4th and 4.
If you've got 4 receivers on one side, that's drawing all the attention of the defense. If you run to the weak side, Johnson has the wheels to do it. And Johnson will do it again, running up the left side, and he'll pick up the 1st down himself.
Let's see. He was close to the line when he went out. I think he probably got it.
I think he got it.
Haven't seen the official signal. There it is. 1st down, Klamath Union on back-to-back good runs from Reese Johnson. Most importantly, too, steps out of bounds, stops the clock. 4:40 to go in the ball game. 34-19 the score.
Yeah, so we saw Johnson do it himself, back-to-back plays, picking up about, what was that, 16 yards, 17 yards?
Yeah, all told, about 17 yards, when it was third down. It was a good couple of carries for him, and I think, especially that first one, I think he thought he was going to do it right away. That second one looked like he was staying in the pocket a little bit longer, looking for a man downfield, but he felt confident to tuck it and run for the first down.
But he keeps the drive alive, and now it's first down, so Johnson back to pass. He unloads it downfield. It's deep, and it's overthrown again. The intended target on that play was Ruano, and that's just something that we see so far in this game. He's overthrowing his receivers.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for one of these connections to turn loose. When Reese is able to find one of these guys at some point, it's going to go for a huge play. It already has a couple times tonight. Big touchdown receptions. It's worked 3 times tonight. And Johnson just overthrowing his guy there. But it is just so close to being a really solid connection for him. Still got a lot of room to grow as a junior quarterback. And, great potential, but just tough to overthrow him on that one.
When you go over these plays in practice and there's no defense on you, you're ghost running it, it takes the receiver a lot less time to get to his spot than when he's guarded. He hands it off to Cruz. Cruz going up the right side. He's tackled by 2 Mazama defenders, and that's a gain of about 5.
Yeah, solid gain that time on the carry. Good tackle by Mazama. A couple of guys coming down to stop him in his tracks. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. I think everything at this point is 4-down territory for Klamath Union. They got to get on the ball quick, though, as they approach the 4-minute mark left to go in the fourth quarter, down 34-19. They don't have a lot of time to sit around in the huddle. They got to get on the football here quickly as the call comes in from the sideline.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here they go, getting up on it now.
Well, if you can pick up 5 yards every time, that's not a bad play.
No, that's the correct play if you can go positive 5 every time.
All right, we've got Johnson accompanied by Cruz. He's back to pass, evades a man, throws down the sideline, and it's broken up by Mahone. The intended target on that play was Nolan Baker, and Mahone was just all over that play.
Yeah, it was really great coverage downfield. Reese doing everything he could, trying to stay on his feet, extend the play to the sideline. Good job by the Mazama defensive front for disallowing Johnson to cut upfield and instead just stringing him out to the side. All around good defense by Mazama. Forces 4th and 5 again for Klamath Union. Already converted once on 4th down this drive. They are 2 for 3 on 4th down conversions so far tonight.
Hey, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not.
So 4th and 5, you got to make up these yards. Are you going deep with a pass, or are you running it up the middle?
It's just hard to tell because I haven't watched Klamath Union, but I expect to see a short passing route here from Johnson. It's been consistent for him so far.
Johnson back to pass, fakes the shovel, goes over the middle. It's caught. What a play. And that is Nolan Baker on the play, alone in the flats.
Well, there you go. Yeah, just a quick route over the middle there for Baker. It was a great play-action pass by Reese Johnson. Faked the handoff, quickly got it out to his man, fired a strike to Baker. And credit to Baker, too, for making that catch. We've seen a lot of guys drop some pretty open passes tonight, but that time Baker, who has been one of those guys who's dropped open passes this evening, making a contested catch for a first down. Klamath Union extending this drive, 1st and 10 from the Mazama 40.
Big-time play in a big-time situation for KU here. So they've got another 1st and 10. They're Mazama territory. They're on the 40. And so far they've done well this drive. Johnson backing up. He's got pressure. He rolls out to his right side. He throws. It's in the dirt. Baker, the intended target on that play, and just not able to ground that one out as it was in the dirt.
Good pressure applied by Mazama's defensive front. That was Abraham Sanchez, and I think I saw Anthony Drogo get in the face of Johnson down there. They were able to power through the line of scrimmage, win that battle, and force Johnson into an awkward throw where he just left it a little bit short of his receiver. Good job by the Mazama defensive front to force that tough throw. It brings up 2nd and 10 now for Klamath Union.
So now that there's not a fair, there's concessions. There's no funnel cake or elephant ear this time. Well, what are you getting from the concessions?
Man, I skipped the concessions tonight. Nothing for me. It'll dehydrate me for this.
Oh, yeah. Got 2 Dasanis sitting there.
That's what I need.
Johnson alone in the backfield in shotgun, sends a man in motion. Looking downfield for the pass, he releases. What a catch! He had Mazama all over him, and he made that contested catch. Gets up a little wobbly. That was Cruz with that haul in.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Good for about 7 yards on the reception. It was just a quick curl route, ran upfield about 10 yards, and then came back. Johnson hit him in the chest for the reception. And here we go now, 3rd and about 3 to go. Maybe a long 3 for Klamath Union. But the clock continues to roll, approaching 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. Klamath Union, the clock is becoming an enemy here for the Pelicans.
Pelicans in shotgun. Johnson fires for that wheel route that they look for, and they just did not get that screenplay to work. That was Ruano, the intended target on that play.
Yeah, stops the clock at 1:56. And I just start to worry about that clock for Klamath Union. They still have 3 timeouts left, so they've kept those.
The clock, I'm worried about that 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to worry about, I suppose, on the KU sideline, down a couple scores late in the ball game. For Mazama, though, the pressure is certainly not off. They're trying to close out this game and close out the Canal Bowl in a Week 1 win. Pelicans are not going away without a fight. They're keeping things interesting down late in the 4th quarter.
They started at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they've driven this ball well for a long time, but it could come down on this 4th down play.
Johnson goes back to pass. He's got pressure. He throws, and it's in the dirt. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Mazama will take the ball with about 2 minutes left in this ball game.
Yeah, Klamath Union still has those 3 timeouts. They might try to use them to force Mazama into a punt. But under 2 minutes to go, Mazama just going to try to drain out this clock and collect the win in this one. I don't anticipate them throwing the football or even thinking about throwing the football on this drive.
Yeah, especially when their run game is so dominant, and it's just a guaranteed 3-4 yards every time, especially from Mahone.
Yeah, he's ran the ball very well. Expect him to get it handed off to him 3-4 times, and unless Klamath Union can get off the field on this set of downs, well, you might as well call it. It's going to take a big 3 plays here for Klamath Union if they even want a chance.
Lee hands it off to Mahone, brings it up the middle, hits a guy, powers through him, and is brought down by another KU. That was Coe helping to finish off that play, and that's about a 5-yard pickup for Mahone.
Brings up 2nd and 5. Pelicans seemingly content to let the clock tick away, and without physically doing so, that's about as telltale sign as you can get for waving the white flag for Klamath Union. And now you're going to see the quarterback, Lee, wait as long as he can to snap the football.
Lee hands it off to Justice. He's up and gains about 4 yards. Flags on the play. It looked like a face mask to me.
Yeah, 3 flags coming out for the tackle. I wasn't quite paying attention to the side of the tackle itself. I was looking at some of those forward blockers. But, yeah, you could be right about that face masking call.
Well, we've seen the Canal Bowl. I believe that Mazama has won the Canal Bowl since 2013.
Yeah.
We've seen each year KU get closer and closer to climbing that mountain. I think that head coach Josh Overstreet, he's done such a great job with this program, this team, and I think they'll have success this year.
Well, Klamath Union is in a rebuilding phase. Along with having Mazama on the show earlier this week, I had Klamath Union down as well and Coach Overstreet, and I asked him, last year was his first year as the head coach. What did you learn last year? And he told me everything. I learned everything last year. I didn't know very much going into last season, but he feels confident coming into this season. And, when you got a young head coach like that, that's what can happen. They're rebuilding and learning together. Coach Overstreet has great assistants around him. He's a dedicated head coach, and I anticipate that they will have a fine season down in the 3A classification. They'll look for a win next week against Lapine, but as Mazama winds up in victory formation, they've nilled it once already, They'll kneel it probably one more time and trot off the field. Mazama looking to close out another Canal Bowl win for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were talking, not you and I, my family was talking last night, and we were talking about the KU program, how they needed a change in attitude. They needed a change in mentality. Not someone who is maybe like a magician or a genius. They needed someone more like a Ted Lasso type guy who could bring the team together and change the culture. And that's exactly what Josh Overstreet has done for them so far. I've seen it myself. The culture of KU football has been changed.
But tonight, unfortunately, they fall in the Canal Bowl to the Mazama Vikings. A final score tonight of 34-19. We'll be back to recap a few of the actions from tonight's broadcast. We'll give you a Pacific Power play of the game. All that stuff is coming up as we continue your coverage tonight from Mazama High School on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Final score from the 47th Canal Bowl. The Mazama Vikings remain on their winning streak. A 34-19 win over Klamath Union tonight. Klamath Union competed hard, but ultimately it was Mazama who ran wild, running the football tonight, came away with the victory.
Yeah, it was a competitive game. It was a lot of fun to see. That second half was chaotic.
Yeah.
It was kind of a crazy third quarter. Nobody scored. Yeah, KU had some times in the game when they could have maybe made a move, and they couldn't quite get there, but Mazama wasn't scoring either. So, yeah, it was a very interesting, very entertaining game, and Mazama just had the ball control and just consistent enough offense to get the win.
One of those games where I feel like your Klamath Union, you probably learned a lot about yourself tonight. You learned that, boy, can you throw the football if you hit your guys downfield, and well, maybe we need to be a little bit more aggressive tackling guys in the backfield. I think those are the key takeaways from Klamath Union tonight. And for Mazama, boy, you might have just found another all-league running back in Brody Mahone. I mean, he was fantastic tonight.
He had a huge game. They just couldn't bring him down.
Yeah.
And whenever they needed to pick up big yardage, he came through. So, yeah, very well played tonight.
34-19, the final score this evening in the 47th Canal Bowl. We're going to step aside one more time on our post-game show. We'll name a Pacific Power play of the game, and then we'll square you up getting ready for another week of high school football in the Klamath Basin. So stick around. More of the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week is next on 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games, all around the county. Specifically, when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Josh Eldridge back with you for the GINO'S Cafe Game of the Week on News Talk 92.9 1150 KAGO and mybasin.com. Been joined tonight by Kevin Petrick and Walter Hartley and Caitlin Rodriguez running the camera tonight. It's time now to pick our Pacific Power play of the day tonight. Kevin, from either team, who'd you see that maybe a specific play that stood out to you tonight?
The play of the game, I thought, when things were kind of going back and forth, I thought the play that broke the back of KU was that right at the start of the fourth quarter, that long touchdown pass from Lee to McDonald.
Yeah.
I thought that was my play of the game. I thought that's kind of where the game got out of reach.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. But I'll just go ahead and pick the longest touchdown of the night, and that was the 52-yard touchdown connection between Reese Johnson and Watkins Saluskin. A 52-yard touchdown catch helped Klamath Union get on the board, made it close in the first half, but again, 34-19 final score. Mazama winds up winning. Klamath Union falls to 0-1 on the season. They'll have a chance to come back next week. On Thursday night, they'll be at home against Lapine, a game which is shaping up to be our next GINO'S Cafe game of the week. Be from Modoc Field next week. And then for Mazama, they got a second home date. They got Mountain View coming to town tomorrow. That'll be under the Friday night lights, 7 o'clock right here at Viking Field next time out for Mazama. Again, a final score 34-19 this evening. Kevin, any thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
No, that was a good competitive game, good crowd. Everybody was into it. And that's what you want to see with a rivalry. A lot of action, a lot of long touchdowns. Some crazy plays. So, yeah, it was a fun night. Good way to kick things off.
Want to thank everybody involved in this evening's broadcast. Both head coaches, Josh Overstreet for Klamath Union and Orlin Culp for the Mazama Vikings, getting me everything I needed before this evening's broadcast. And also joining us on Ballin' in the Basin earlier in the week. Appreciate Coach Culp and Coach Overstreet, as well as Ian O'Brien, the athletic director here at Mazama High School, making sure we had room in the box up here to broadcast the 47th Canal Bowl. Thanks also to you for tuning in to another edition of high school football on mybasin.com. We'll be back again next week from Klamath Union High School, but until then, for Kevin Petrick, Walter Hartley, and Caitlin Rodriguez, and for all of you for joining us tonight, so long and good night from Mazama High School.